Playing with heart is a dangerous game. So don't play with mine, I'll put you to shame. Say night for a night, you're in the flying range, and I'm standing my ground. No, I'm not afraid. Justice for all, justice for all. You get what you give when you've broken the law. Nobody comes before you commit it. Don't start a fight, I won't let you win it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Hughes.
I'm Bobby Trippett.
And I'm Michael Tanner.
And today we're going to be talking about 1984's Savage Streets.
Go fucking iceberg.
It's Linda, bitch.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
I said it, knocker.
Spooky ain't got no real rhythm.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love funny games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny.
And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get us up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get cream.
It started off as an innocent prank that erupted in savage violence.
I'm gonna kill him! I'm gonna kill him!
Look at that, Jake, huh? You think she had fun when she filled her car with garbage, huh?
Shut up, Red.
What are you gonna do about it?
All right, girls.
Girl, what you yelling for? Heather's dead. Hey, Brenda, isn't this Heather's stuff? Oh my God, Brenda!
Oh, I'm sorry about your sister, Brenda. The police are doing everything they can. But she shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Charlene, I love her so much. What am I going to do if Heather dies?
We'll meet you guys at the top. You sure you're not gonna hurt her, right, Jake? Isn't that what I said? No, Jake!
Brenda, you can't take the whole world on by yourself.
You don't know anything.
Justice for all, justice for all. You get what you give when you've broken the law.
For God's sake. It wasn't my fault.
Hey,
What is it?
wait a minute, man. I don't like it. Something's weird.
What's the matter, boys? Lose your nerve? What a shame.
We're gonna play a little game, baby. Hey, Red! Red!
Oh, yeah.
She came loaded for bear. No! No!
Oh, my. I missed. And I did so want to see you bleed to death.
Pay for your crime, the judgment will stand. My back's to the wall, it's out of my head.
Go for your Brenda. Brenda, baby.
Linda Blair in Savage Streets, where the only law is an eye for an eye.
So, guys, we're here at the last week of Blairvember 2017, and we decided, well, let's revisit the most classic Linda Blair movie there is that wasn't even a part of a Blairvember, which was
true.
episode 5 of this podcast.
It's perfect to end out Blairvember 2 with arguably one of the greatest Blair movies. We've got the whole gang here. We are recording the night before Thanksgiving. Happy Streetsgiving, everybody.
Streetsgiving.
And I still think about Savage Streets all the time. Obviously, because most of the quotes are in the goddamn theme song. Thanks, man.
The one movie you watched.
We made it so long ago. It has so many great lines in it. But I still think about it as like almost one of the pinnacles as far as like what a Grindhouse movie is. Like if somebody was going to ask me, how would you describe a Grindhouse movie? I would just be like, go watch Savage Streets. I mean, that's basically everything. It's got it all wrapped into one.
It's why it's one of the first episodes you covered on this show. It is quintessential Grindbin material.
This is a classic movie, in my opinion. I mean, it's bad. It's horrible, but it's a classic movie. And for me, it's a 1,000,000% recommend. It's one of my favorite movies we've ever covered on the bin. And watching it again, I was just like, I just love it just as much. It's uncomfortable, to be sure.
Yeah.
But it's also unintentionally hilarious in many moments. So.
Like all the best Grindhouse films.
Yeah, so.
You're uncomfortable and you're laughing.
Hard than soft.
Definitely a hard than soft.
Boys.
Yeah. This is the pinnacle of hard than soft. So we're not going to go...
We never hard.
Yeah.
Like soft the whole time.
They sure try. There's lots...
We'll get to it.
This movie has lots of nudity in it. Like lots and lots and lots of nudity in it, which is like a scary level of nudity that we don't see in movies anymore.
But it's faster nudity than, let's say, Moving Target, where there was just like obscene amount of nudity.
And the difference is the nudity in Moving Target is intended to titillate, and while it doesn't, that's the idea. I don't think any of the nudity in this is really intended to titillate, and that's the weird part about this movie.
It feels like it's more meant to humiliate.
The context of every... yes.
Titillate or humiliate. That's the meter
That's
we got.
new game show we're starting.
So we've covered the background in episode 5. So if you want to hear the background about that, you can go back there. Or we're covering the background.
Unlike the original Van episode 5, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, well.
The Savage Street episodes was good.
Oh,
you and
mean
man.
when they fixed the mics? Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, we did fix the mics.
5's when you guys hit the sweet spot. That's when it really started to come into its own.
You know, I got to admit, I never listened to that one.
Oh, thanks a lot, Tanner. Thanks for nothing.
I decided basically not to listen to the early stuff.
He'll check it out.
I knew it probably wasn't good.
What episode did you come in on, Tanner?
Man.
He came on the first one he was on.
Lunch Wagon? That might be
You started on Lunch
I might
Wagon.
have started with
Oh,
Lunch
wow.
Wagon.
Yeah, I get a lot of them where people will be like, I'm binging the bin. And I'm like, oh boy, I wonder where they're starting.
Hey, I've mentioned
Oh,
before,
boy.
I did the same thing. I started on Dolomite after a conversation with Hughes, and then I went back to episode 1. I went for it.
And you're still around. Now you're on the show. So it went well, I guess.
Dreams come true.
Once we hit
I know.
episode 5.
I finally made it, Mom.
I've also heard everybody loves the Blood Diner episode, which is like episode 10.
I thought the Blood Diner was a really good episode.
Which is
I've
amazing.
never listened to that one either.
That's a fun episode.
Tanner,
and I
you gotta
hate
go
that
back.
I
movie.
gotta go back.
Isn't that the
gotta
one
hit
with
the archive.
the Shira or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that episode was super strong. I enjoyed listening to it.
Oh, well, thank you, Hughes. That's the first nice thing he's ever said about this podcast. So
The way we're all talking is like this is the final episode, and we're doing like the clip
I'd
show.
like to announce right now.
Somebody has bought the Grindbin and we're done.
Shut it down.
This episode ends with Chris Mann switching the lights off.
I don't think
You
we're
have
going
to
be
show up for that.
Yeah, well, Chris Mann's not here. He's actually out of town for Thanksgiving, so he has a good excuse. Bobby's shaking his head. But he was on the first Savage Streets episode, so it's fitting to just tag him out for Tanner this time, so we brought him back.
I got the hot tag.
You'll probably be hearing Tanner a lot more on this show, because he's asked to be on the show, and I said, anytime you want to be on the show, you can be on it.
And I'm going to abuse the
And
hell
then
out
he
of
keeps
it.
showing up, and we keep shaking our heads at him. Like, no, dude.
I just try not to look at him. No eye contact.
He's usually peeking in the windows while we're recording.
Like,
I
hey, guys.
want to take this 1 second and say, hey, Chris, if you are listening to the episode,
He's not listening.
Please message us just to show that you're listening to this
guarantee you
episode.
he's not
He's not listening to the
Okay,
episode.
we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out when this airs.
Though, for what it's worth, Chris is not here, and you replaced him with 3 people.
Yeah, well, there you
It
go.
takes 3 people to make one Chris Mann
and we're
not
gonna-
listen to this show.
Zing! I do think that
Shopping cart.
This is one of the movies that man has definitely watched. So, because we all have a
Yeah, it was a part of the first 10 that you guys watched before releasing the podcast.
Yes, we did record 10 episodes before we ever released our first show. I was like, look at me, I'm going to get a big back catalog. I'm going to be ready.
And now
then,
we just fly by the seats of our pants.
Oh, God, do we? So we don't really have any background to cover on this one, but you can hear extended background on our latest mini bin that we just recorded. That's up on the Patreon for our Patreon subscribers, patreon.com/grindbin. Michael is a member of that. He's in the I'll check it out tier.
I'll check it out.
Just slip
how's
right
it
into
been?
that Patreon jacuzzi.
I've been checking it out, but not the old stuff.
It's for the best. He's a fair weather fan of the Grindbin.
Yeah, a real Fairweather Bin fan. Jeez.
I mean, I got a lot of podcasts to listen to and to beg to be on, so, you know.
Okay, so do you guys have anything to add before we start this? I think maybe we will definitely play the trailer. So this movie starts with, I mean, obviously we started the episode with it, and we've started episode 5 with it. Savage Streets has some of the best music of any Grindhouse movie I've ever heard, and that's because the original soundtrack was done by one John Farnham. For this movie, he made a whole bunch of original music because this is a theatrically released film.
This Justice for All song was written for this movie.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, Chris actually, man, did give me the soundtrack last Christmas, and I still enjoy it today.
Wait, the vinyl?
Yeah, I have the vinyl.
Oh, you have to get it signed. Linda likes signing that.
Yeah, you know, she says, she's like, oh, where'd you get this? It's rare. Linda, you can find it on eBay for $5, so get with it.
She doesn't know how to use computers.
Yeah.
You can't pet and walk a computer.
It was coming. I knew it. So I don't know if we're going to hear from our boss much this episode. We'll see.
I hope not.
Because as you know by... Hughes, don't say that. He can
He has
hear and
cameras.
see us. As
He's
you
always
know by
watching.
the last episode, if you listen to every episode, unlike Tanner...
That the Grindbin is now a property of Crown International.
Yes, so at any moment he can kind of chime in, and hopefully we kind of avoid him. But I hear... we'll see. We'll see. Well, we may not answer that rotary phone tonight. So this movie starts, guys. Vinny leaves home. Okay, so like basically it starts with the music, it's rocking, and we see like this kid, he leaves his home and he like kind of just runs out. His dad's like, you got school tomorrow, I need you back by 11. The music hits, he changed into his Scars uniform, which is basically just, you know, like he's in the movie Grease. Like you just got to wear a leather jacket and jeans and you're in the gang.
He has some kind of dog tag hanging.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know. That or like obviously the gang from Thrashin'. They both got similarities. I feel like they had some run-ins. They're in different parts of LA, but they definitely run into each other every now and then, you know.
On Van Nuys Boulevard.
Yeah.
When they go to the valley to rumble.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They go in the
All
valley.
the
and-
80s punkers, they all know each other.
Good thing you use punkers because we quickly learned that's the preferred nomenclature. So Jake and the boys pull up in their convertible, so the rest of the Scars.
And, you know, it really kind of defeats the purpose of changing around in an alleyway quietly if your friends are just going to start shouting your name when they get there.
Yeah, Vinny!
Yeah.
Okay, did you
I
notice,
think
by the
Mr.
way...
Vinny inside reading the paper is probably going to hear that.
Did you notice, by the way... Okay, so his name's Vince, right? But there's some characters I call him Vinny, and some call him Vincey.
Yep.
And I'm like, you guys got to pick. Like, you got to pick a nickname. Like,
Everyone needs to get on board with the name.
There's a scene the bad scene in this movie where they call him 4 different names.
just in one scene.
In one scene.
Yeah, they're all like trying to fight for what his nickname is really going to be.
I'm hoping this one wins out.
So, do you think, though, by the way, after watching this for like the 4th time, that I'm really starting to see like this is obviously a story of 2 gay men who are just very like ashamed of being gay.
Oh yeah, like you, Jake and Fargo.
Yeah, Jake and the Beefcake. Yeah.
Headband for most of the movie until they start yelling his name.
The male stripper.
As long as we're talking about him, because obviously there was no point of context back when you recorded episode 5, but he is dressed identically to the Rob Van Dam guy from Raw Force. Same vest, same headband, same everything. It's the same guy.
I mean, he's clearly a male stripper. Like he this is like how he goes to work, right? Like he's just got a vest on, no matter what the weather, no matter what the temperature, just an open vest, no shirt underneath.
His only point of reference for being a gang member in a movie was he watched The Warriors.
Yeah, for sure. He's a real Bronx Warrior guy, you know, hanging out with Trash.
Oh, absolutely.
They used to date. But this is definitely like a thing is like, no, we can't succumb to our hidden urges, so we should go and grab women to show that we're really straight guys, right?
Toxic
tough men.
masculinity.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
When really
so prevalent in the 80s.
When really all they want to do
As
is
opposed
make
to
out.
now.
Because there's
we've
that
defeated that monster.
Yeah, thank God that's not a thing anymore.
there's that part where he
You're
jumps
running
in.
right through the movie here.
Well,
like-
I'm just bringing it up now.
But
There's-
I'm just saying, the ending.
There is that part when he jumps in and he's like, "I'm gonna go next," and
Let's get
Jake
to
gets
it.
really jealous about it.
Then they make out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually happens.
Well, I would just like to say that, like, that's the running theme I've figured out in this movie is definitely it's two men who are afraid to come out sexually, and boy, do they go to extreme lengths.
Yeah, it's like two bald bears and their little cub is Vinny.
There is even a quote in the movie, by the way, where he says, like, "You're gonna see the biggest bear you
Yeah.
ever see."
It's all there.
Okay, so they're cruising LA. Here come the boys, is what I gotta say, because they're just going around. Now, here's the thing. They're in the convertible, right? And they're just drinking beer openly in LA like you do.
Rolling around in grease lightning.
Yeah, this is the 80s. I guess you could still do it, 70s style, just
Yeah.
rolling around, drinking your beer in the car. Catcalling. And I wonder, I write in my notes, has catcalling, like, ever worked?
It only has to work once.
Legend has it worked one time back in 1974.
Because it's like, you always see this in movies, and like I've seen it in real life, and you're just like, has that, I mean, seriously, guy, other than embarrassing yourself in public, going like, woo, at a girl or something, have they ever once turned around and been like, you know what, I'm into that?
Every movie I've ever seen.
None of the ones I catcall, I'll tell you that much.
He's been trying for years,
It's so weird to think, like, I can't speak for any of you guys. I'm sure you all do it all the time. But I've never catcalled anyone.
No.
And I'm always like, who the fuck is doing that all the time?
Yes!
But it's happening all the
No,
time.
it does happen all the time.
Literally
and I've seen
every
it.
woman, everywhere she goes, gets catcalled. My wife tells me every time.
So, I was just wondering, I would wonder if catcalling has ever worked. Hashtag catcall if it's ever worked for you.
Yeah, listeners, share your positive catcall experiences.
It worked for Sick Critic. He has an SO.
Well, that's true.
It's true.
We learned that in the mini-bin. Sick Critic has an SO.
Do you think it's a human?
Well, could have came from a box. Yeah. So Linda's shopping with her friends and her
Mattress?
sister.
Yes, with silicone?
Linda's out shopping with her friends and her sister, right? And like everybody who lives in LA, like Tanner will tell you, where do you go to shop?
You go to Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood
The
Boulevard,
touristy
baby.
shit, man.
Yeah.
You look at American flag T-shirts. They
Oh,
say
I
Hollywood.
swear
on
to
them.
God, when I saw that scene, I was like, oh, that shop is still there and it's still selling that T-shirt.
All of the shops they show in this movie are still there.
Oh, the
That's
only
the saddest fucking place, man. Hollywood Boulevard. If you're from out of state, don't go there. If you come out here, there's so many cool places
Well,
in California. Hollywood Boulevard is a fucking cesspool.
Yeah, and I've said that multiple times on this show.
Yeah.
However, I will say that there's one good thing on Hollywood Boulevard, and that's the Egyptian Theater.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
And every time I have to go to one,
Yep.
I end up having to hang out on Hollywood Boulevard before my movie starts.
fucking
And I
can't
end up
stand it.
feeling like Rorschach from The Watchmen. I'm standing up on a roof like, the city's afraid of me.
It is really just a perfect example of what LA is like, Hollywood Boulevard. Just
Yeah.
everybody there is great.
So if you're out there in Wisconsin thinking like, I want to come out and check it out, just know it reeks of weed and piss, and every third person's going to say something shitty to you.
Yeah, it's great. Just exactly what you'd expect.
But
It's
you
like
can
Venice.
get your
Except
picture
no
taken
beach.
with Marilyn Monroe and
Yeah.
toothless Superman.
Oh, so the real one from Justice League?
Hey, zing, zing.
Hey! Or you can crouch next to a piece of sidewalk that says Johnny Depp on it.
Oh, yeah.
Or Donald Trump?
Or Donald Trump.
Yeah, which they've now covered because people kept shitting on it. So.
Yeah, people doing all kinds of things
Yeah.
to it. But we digress.
So Linda, by the way, looking like a total badass. I mean, goddamn.
I thought she was blind.
Oh, that's
Where
the
those-
movie. A blind girl with her deaf sister?
Yeah, I thought it was Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
Which one is Richard Pryor?
So she's walking around looking like a total badass with the sunglasses at night. She's got that top on, just ready to kick the fucking world in the ass.
Because you don't switch the blade on the girl in shades.
Oh my god, she looks amazing in this movie. Just like a total badass.
She knows it. She knows it too.
And she's walking around like it. And then they stop by a local store. You gotta love this foreshadowing, guys. Is that we see the local store in Hollywood Boulevard
The
that you
supply
said
sergeant, which is still there.
Yep.
that's still there, and they advertise crossbows, shotguns, and holy shit, a weekend special on bear traps.
$39 or $37.99. I wrote down the price.
84 money. I mean, woo. That's
you want to get a decent bear trap, you got to spend a little money.
yeah, that's a tall price back then. I assume in today's money that's about $1,500. So
I don't have my calculator with me, but I'm pretty sure you're correct.
a regular fixture on Hollywood Boulevard, as you said. What's the name of the store?
Supply Sergeant.
Yeah, go in there and tell them you saw him in Savage Streets and ask for the bear trap special.
You know, on Hollywood Boulevard, you can get an actual bear for less.
With or without hair.
Wouldn't be a bear if it was without.
So they make some jokes in front of a sex shop, because like you do. And then one of the girls asks Heather, so Linnea Quigley, what she thinks. And that's when Linda steps in with the first line where you're like, oh yeah, it's 1984, where we have a character who speaks with a sometimes Spanish accent, sometimes not, depending on what the scene is.
And how emotionally into it she is.
Yeah, and she just sounds like any sort of stereotypical Hispanic character you'd want. And Linda calls her Miss Taco Bell. And does her own little Spanish impression.
And I'm bummed that they cut the scene where she wins that pageant.
Well, yeah, it was like a Family Guy cutaway. She goes, hola, Miss Taco Bell. And then it goes, and Miss Taco Bell, 1984.
So, for your last question, what do you quiero?
Taco Bell.
And world peace.
Do you think the crown was like a taco salad?
Tostada?
Yeah, tostada. Okay, so then they get the Taco Bell joke out when you're just like, oh, okay, this is what we're watching. And then one of the girls breaks out the booze, and Linda just fucking flips out. She's like, not in front of Heather.
Do note, remember, if you're watching this at home, remember that bottle, because you'll see that same bottle 3 times in this movie.
Well, they take a while to get through it, you know. They're only high school students.
Well,
by
it's
the
different
way.
people that have it.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
They
they
just
pass
raise
it
the
around. It's a
top,
community bottle, you know. Maybe they got a good deal on a couple of them or something.
Sharing is the theme of the film.
So this is what we're also learning. Like, oh man, yeah.
See?
Foreshadowing Bobby.
Yes, indeed.
Is this where we also kind of learn that they're all supposed to be high school students, and you're like, oh no,
Yes.
no.
Because the majority of the cast is too old to be high school teachers.
Well, we've learned that like Linda was what 26 or something when she made this movie. She looks 26, but she does not look like she's a 16-year-old girl in this movie.
No.
And it's very disturbing to think that all these people in their 30s are portraying high school students when they could have just as easily been in college or something. Because
There's no reason to make these high schoolers.
There's no reason to put it in high school.
At all.
The fact that it takes place in high school is more disturbing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when the scars almost run over Heather, and the girls are screaming at him. And I do like that part when the beefcake says, what were you mad about? I blew my horn.
And we find out something about the character. That she's deaf.
She's deaf.
Yeah, one of the girls yells, her sister's deaf, you asshole. And it's like, well, he didn't know that.
He honked his horn.
Although she was kind of like walking in the street, and then as soon as she was it was actually kind of her fault, now that I think about it.
I thought Linda shoved her.
She was like, let's just get it over with.
Real Nomi move, yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to learn that like Linda cares about Heather, but only when it's convenient. Because a lot of times
very
she
inconsistent.
doesn't really give a shit. Especially in some parts when she's like, no, she can take care of herself.
Literally in the next 2 minutes.
So basically the leader of the Scars, Jake, who we're introduced to at this point, who's, conservatively about 40 years old.
He's ugly Taylor Kitsch? What's the name of that actor?
I think you're thinking of Kitsch.
Taylor
Stacy
Kitsch.
Keach.
He's ugly Stacy.
Yeah, I can see that. Apparently...
He's borderline tall man from Phantasm.
Yeah.
Like the hair he's rocking and his height, his general age.
Yeah, before he worked at the cemetery, he was kicking it with the Scars, you know. Before he formed that portal to another universe, he was kicking it with the Scars.
I'd love to see that. Like he's prepping one of those floating spheres to go take somebody out, and Vinny's next to him going, "Jay, no!
You promised me.
You promised me. It's time, boy."
Okay, so another thing I'll bring up is like in the interview we talked about in the mini bin, I forgot to mention, is that Linda says that these guys are all from Boston. And like now that I hear it, I can kind of hear the Boston coming through every time. Like a little bit, you can kind of hear him. And so he's basically we meet Jake and his boyfriend, who's Fargo, or the Beefcake, as I said in the original episode. He looks like a guy about to pop out of a cake. Jake tries to hit on Linda.
Do you see how this scene is framed for Linda, though? Like, her boobs are right there, and they're perfectly pointed through the shirt, but you can't really see her face.
I think that was intentional.
Definitely intentional.
They were like we'll talk about it, is every 10 minutes you got to have some sort of boob in this movie. It's just like a requirement. So Linda he tries to hit on her, right? Like you do.
Of course.
And he says basically the possibilities are endless. And then
such sights.
Linda tells him it sounds as good as drowning in a pool of vomit, and tells him to fuck off, and then somebody calls him the F word.
Good times.
Which is really sad considering he's just a troubled man who cannot be himself.
He just wants to cruise.
Yeah. Do you think, like, after they called him that and he drove away, he's like, if they only knew.
By the way, quick aside. You know, we talk about the F word and how that used to get thrown around all the time, and they would never use that nowadays in a movie. Have any of you seen Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle?
Yeah, they use it.
Some dude out of nowhere shouts
There's
that
a couple
word,
of
and you're
movies
like,
that
whoa.
are using it still. It's funny.
And this is an action
sorry.
comedy. It's not supposed to be like really, you know.
In a movie this year, they called somebody.
Yeah, in a fun summer.
Well, it's
Channing
British.
Tatum movie.
Maybe he was talking about a cigarette.
Nope.
No, this country bumpkin suddenly just shouts it, and it
Wow.
parted my hair watching this. I'm like, you're shitting me.
Okay, so then they drive off, right? So this scene just ends. And then we get, was I right, is just random scene for boobs. Because we've hit the 10-minute mark and we haven't had any. Yeah, where there's this guy that the scars are going to shake down for the first, like, 20 minutes of this movie that'll just disappear. In this scene, it's just an excuse to have a woman with large breasts to just get her shirt pulled off.
And I knew the moment the scene started and you saw that she was wearing a tube top.
Yeah,
and you
of
how
course.
that had to end.
Yeah, you're like, we know exactly where this is going.
Nothing
And
good
this
has
actress is Susie Slater, who you may recall from Chopping Mall, is the one who gets her head blown up by one of the security robots. It's a very good exploding head scene.
So
One of the
she always
all-time
says
greats.
that. She goes, you might remember me in Savage Streets. I was the girl who wore the tube top for only a minute. Or in Chopping Mall, where I got my head blown off.
Where there was also unnecessary nudity on her part.
So basically we learned that, like, Vinny is there, like, they're putting him through his rite of passage, I guess.
Yeah, he's the initiate.
So Vinny is like a high school student, and the scars are, like,
Old.
not in high. Yeah, they're like
they
old.
They are not supposed to be still in high school. I think they are college age.
So how did Vinny meet them?
It makes no sense that he's even with them.
Yeah.
Like, do you think he just saw?
I'm guessing it was in
guys.
a reading buddy program when he was in elementary school. I
Or
think
like
it was like a mentor system.
You think like Jake was his big brother?
Yeah, he was at the boys' club.
Yeah.
What's weird is, like, the gang really seems to care about him.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
you know, we give him a hard time, but Vinny's, he's a good boy, you know, he's a good kid.
They want to make sure he's not doing the wrong
Shove
thing.
his face in those breasts, because that's what they do. They take his head and they shove it in the breast. They're like, here, Vinny, have some. You know, this is what a woman's like, right?
And she's weirdly no-selling everything. Like, the most emotion you get out of her in this scene is sort of like a Flintstones, it's a living. Like, she just sort of, like, sits there and sighs, like, this is all my career is. This is what I do.
Yep. Until she meets Wynorski.
And he's like, we're going to shoot a laser at your head.
Oh, those were the good days, Bobby.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to prove they're not gay, they go and they grab that woman and they shove Vinny's face in there, and they're like, see, this is what it's like to be a man, Vinny. This is what it's like to be one of the scars. And then Jake beats the guy up, but he keeps saying over and over that he really likes him, which is weird. He's like, oh, yo, I like this guy. And then he kicks his ass and goes, I love him. I love him. So apparently they just want money from him because they're drug dealers. The next thing we see is girls looking at schlongs in magazines.
I swear, and it could be because I watched this on YouTube and it was a little fuzzy, but was that Kurt Russell on the cover of that Playgirl magazine? Because that's what I
don't
thought.
know.
And so I was like, they're talking about Kurt Russell's schlong.
You're like, this is the best movie ever.
Awesome. Apparently, Kurt Russell...
I was gonna say, you think he did a nude spread just before, like, Escape from New York?
Apparently,
It's 84, right?
Apparently,
Yeah.
Hughes, it was so big that he has to put it on the nightstand when he goes to bed, is the direct quote from this movie.
This girl's doing a whole Andrew Dice Clay bit.
I wrote down Sarah Silverman.
Yeah. I bet he has to put it on the nightstand. Oh!
Like every night him and Goldie Hawn go to bed, he just flips that thing on the nightstand. Okay, and so then they spot the scars from across the street. They're like, we want to teach them a lesson. And I'm like, why? Like, just leave them alone.
Yeah. You know those violent drug dealers that hang out over here?
Yeah, because they're looking at him.
Let's go fuck with them.
And Linda's like,
what could happen?
Well, they say something. They're like, what do you think, Linda, or something? She's like, just a couple of your neighborhood no good drug dealers. Why don't we go fuck with them? And she's like, Heather, you want to go ride in a convertible?
And she's like,
I can't hear you. What?
I'm deaf.
She just does this. Like, Linnea Quigley in this movie dresses like a 5-year-old and is treated like a 5-year-old. And if she wasn't cast as a woman, you would think she was 5.
It's really bizarre the way they treat her character and the way they treat this particular disability anyway. It's really, they treat her like she's stupid.
Linnea Quigley in this scene is dressed like an Amish woman. Like, she's dressed like an Amish girl going to school. And then she's just bounding around Hollywood Boulevard with her sister and her friends who are dressed like, a Pat Benatar video.
She looks like Sandra Dee from Grease, and everybody else is dressed like the T-Bird.
Sandra Dee from the end of Grease.
Yeah.
But that last musical number is going to be a little off.
And so she's like, you want to go drive in a convertible? And she's like, yeah.
Because she's not just deaf, she's a space alien. Yeah. She has no idea what anything is. You have to talk to her like the Congo gorilla.
Linnea, what? Raindrop, drink. Yeah.
Linnea, hungry?
Because that is how Linda talks to her in multiple parts. Do you want walk home?
Ugly woman. Ugly.
You're supposed to be the one who understands better than anyone, and you're coming at this like you'd never heard of a deaf person before.
Yeah, she's only lived with her whole life. Okay, there's so many weird things like in Linda and Linnea's background that we never delve into, but are just mentioned in passing, like the fact that their dad just died. Like in this scene, actually, while they're looking at magazines, because they're like, "What? Your mom really reads that shit or something?" We can't see the cover. We don't know what she's talking about. She's like, "Ever since my dad died," and you're like, "Well, that's interesting stuff." Nope, let's just keep moving. We'll never get into that.
It's just like Yeti.
Yeti.
Ever since Yeti. Ever since that crash that killed our mother and father. Anyway.
Yeah. So they go and they steal the Scar's car, which is a great idea.
Wonderful.
And they just start, cruising around going, woo, just screaming like girls,
it's like Mugsy's girls.
Yeah. Mugsy's girls.
Let's see if I can reference every previous episode of the Grindbin as we go.
It's not a anniversary, but it might as well be. It's a Savage-versary. So they're stealing the car.
Streetsgiving. We gotta bring a lot to the table.
Yeah. Hashtag Streetsgiving. So everybody's eating ice cream. The girls are eating ice cream. Because what do? You steal a car, then you go get ice cream. And you know what, guys? It's better than sex because we're women. And they're like, just eating it and eating big old banana splits and talking about dicks and ice cream.
Here come the girls.
That's what they do. Then the Scars find the car. And now this is where it's fucked up.
This is where the movie gets fucked up.
It's all filled with garbage and everything. It's like, dude, you stole the car. You didn't have to fucking do this. They're obviously going to be mad.
All they did was accidentally maybe not run over your sister and then try to pick you up. And this is like, okay, steal the car and make them walk to it. That's funny.
Yeah.
But then like dump trash in it so that you ruin everything.
It's still not that funny.
It has a level of funny.
You can't tell Hughes what he finds funny.
Sorry. But
this is going beyond. Like, this is like retaliatory. Like, there's going to be an answer to this.
They've escalated the situation.
Guaranteeing escalation.
From what I've seen, have like trashed the car.
Yeah, literally. They've thrown trash cans into the car.
Like, they threw Murray Langston's home into this car.
Murray Langston was in the car.
Him and Sonny just pop out at some point. He's got his slingshot.
These drug dealers look pretty tough.
The Scars find the car. They're pissed. Jake screams into the night, which is a great cutaway where he's like, ah! And it mixes in with the school bell, which I love that cut.
Brilliant.
And I gotta say, like, so as far as this movie goes, the first 10 minutes flows great. It's like a nice start to this movie. Like, we get all the beats you should in a regular movie, like an actual 3-act movie. And I have to applaud it for that. The plot moves in this movie. There's not really a point when it slows down.
No.
So we go to school the next day, right? An aerobics class.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes, how old is Brenda? 40? Question mark. High school? Fuck that. And then I wrote in, sucking that gut, which is a great line from the female gym coach as she's yelling at the girls. Sucking that gut.
Yeah, so, okay.
To which she says, what, shove it, bitch?
Yeah, she says she goes, pick it up, Brenda, at one point, and Linda goes, yeah, shove it, bitch, which I love that line. And I just said, this class is amazing. So apparently in like 1984, gym class was the teacher would just stand, put on some generic music, and girls are supposed to just kind of move to it.
Didn't you see Porky's?
You just sort of move around like the Goombas in the elevator in the sick critic approved Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, they're just moving around. Pick it up, Brenda.
Certified fresh by sick critic.
We are getting a remake, but it's going to be animated.
Don't need that.
Yeah, I do think it's weird that it's like the first thing you do is kind of body shame your star, which is like, that's probably not a good choice.
These streets are savage.
Pick it up, Brenda. So we go to the lockers, right, in the hallways, and the scars come up to the guy they beat up last night, and Jake grabs him by the dick.
And it doesn't even look that violent. It's not like a Bronson under the table. He just sort of places his hand on his balls.
Yeah. And this was the first time, the first time I watched this movie, first 3 times, I didn't notice that he grabbed him by the dick. Yep. I was like, no, he puts his hand right there, and he's like, hey,
he gives him a little, his balls gently.
Yeah, and goes, a little, how do you do? I love this guy. And he says, now, if the girlfriend's not there, he's got to grab onto some sexual appendage.
Yeah, so big. So tough.
Yeah, you think you're a tough guy, huh? Think you're like Kurt Russell over here, huh?
Let me see your nightstand.
Yeah, if Jake said to him, he goes, this guy, I bet he needs to put on the nightstand. Oh, am I right, guys?
That would be great if it was a running joke the whole time.
So then he says, we're going to need the blow and the money in 1 hour. And we're hoping he means drugs at that point.
It's a little unclear when you're currently holding someone's genitals.
To me, it doesn't make sense because you want the blow and the money. How is he getting the money if he's not selling the blow?
Well, I think it was a case of like they gave him the blow and he was using it, not selling it. But you're right. Wait, yeah. How is he supposed to get the blow and the money?
Is it supposed to be blow or the money?
No, but he says blow and the money. They're a little confused because he says we need the blow and the money in 1 hour, and then the beefcake goes, that's 60 minutes. To just kind of reiterate.
60 seconds.
Do you need that in metric? He's always there to kind of like throw in the other form of measurement. That's when we get the introduction of John Vernon, who, oh my God, does he steal this movie?
A fucking legend.
He is only in this movie for like 5 minutes, but goddamn, it's every second.
And it's the best 5 minutes of this movie.
Obviously everybody knows him from the past Blair member as the warden in Linda Goes to Prison or whatever that movie was called.
One that my dad watched.
Did you watch that movie?
Chained Heat. He liked that movie, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Linda in Prison. It's great. Him and the warden with the hot tub in his office.
And she's just like scared and sad the whole time.
I've listened to that episode.
Oh, well, there you go. See?
That's Tanner approved.
He checked it out.
One of the 5.
Certified checked out by Michael Tanner.
He basically plays the same character in this movie.
Yeah. Does he ever play a different character?
No.
He's this character in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Same sass.
He's also trying to get a young girl to sleep with him?
Well, not that, no, but he's got the same, like, I don't give a fuck, that he gives everybody.
Yeah, he's great, though.
He's telling everybody to go fuck an iceberg.
So he walks in, he pushes the scars. So this is great. You got the fucking principal of the school. He goes up to these gang members and he immediately grabs one of them and just chucks them onto a locker. And they're like, what the fuck is this guy?
They didn't even know he was the principal.
Yeah, they're like, who is this guy? Yeah, they're all laughing.
Beefcake literally says, who is this guy?
The principal? Some shit.
And I love John Vernon. He's basically Grindhouse Gene Hackman.
He really is, yeah.
Like, you can't afford Gene Hackman because you're
John
doing a
Vernon.
Grindhouse movie, you get fucking John Vernon.
And so he goes up to him and he's like, hey, Vince, what's with these fucking guys you're hanging around, huh? And they're like, hey, we're here, we're Vince's family, he's sick. And so I've never noticed this before. But he goes, he's sick, huh? And red, one of the scars, because he has red hair, I think.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
He says he's got the clap and it's flaring up. And that's why John Vernon says...
Oh,
it finally makes sense. No, Tanner, you said it at the beginning.
Go fucking iceberg.
Yeah, I never knew why he said that.
Good advice.
It makes total sense. Like, at first I thought that was way out of left field. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's just like so
sense.
Weird. It makes
like
total
sense. It's like the magic
sense.
guys finally coming through. I think you finally get this movie.
Yeah, that's how you cure the clap, by the way. Just go fucking iceberg.
That's all you gotta do.
If you don't have an iceberg, just pull out the ice tray in the freezer. It'll do just as well.
Loose screws.
Or go to the morgue. That's a different movie?
So Vernon tells them to get the hell out of his school. Jake spits on the ground in front of him.
And they have a nice, like, scanners stare down. There's just
Okay.
a couple uncomfortable seconds of them staring at each other.
And this makes more sense when John Vernon says, now why don't you take your F-word asses out of here before I feed them to the cops? Because they're gay.
And Vernon has gaydar.
Yeah, he's like, he totally knows. He's like, look, I know. It's all right, guys. It's all right with me. It's 1984. That's what we say, is the F-word, apparently. So, I just thought of, like, he understands. He's trying to be like, boys, it's okay.
That's how you tell somebody it's okay?
Well, he's the principal. He's got to do it with force,
Right.
So then we go to the football field. This was when this movie all of a sudden becomes a different movie, where we're going to introduce high school world into this.
A high school love drama?
Yeah, it's weirdly Fast Times at Ridgemont High in certain scenes.
Yeah, it's just cheerleaders and, as I write, All-American Johnny Football quarterback.
Absolutely.
And they're all introduced, and we learn that Johnny Football and the cheerleader Cindy, they're dating, like they should, right?
Played by Howard Stern, by the way.
This guy, man. Yeah, I just call him Johnny Football, but
name.
man,
He's worthless.
yeah.
It's just
He is a worthless character.
fucking scarecrow.
He is just there to leer in the background. And why, like, this whole thing, like, we'll get into it, literally makes no sense. Like, it makes zero sense. Nobody listens to Linda. Like, nobody hears words that are coming out of her mouth. Maybe that's why she talks to her sister the way she does, because she says things and people just don't listen. And we'll get that here is the aerobics class. We go back and Johnny Football comes in and he really wants some of that Linda. And she's just sitting there doing her thing.
So he does his best JCPenney catalog pose.
Yeah, he puts his...
The 1 foot up on the bleachers. Shirt sticking through his open fly.
Yeah, and all the girls laugh at him like, hee, his fly's open.
But
And
he's so smooth, it doesn't even stop him. He just flips it around, zips it up, comes right back into that pose.
Yeah, and he's just doing that catalog pose, going like, hey. And Linda says something like, why won't this guy get a clue? I keep telling him I'm not interested. But he doesn't get it.
And during this whole scene, there's a cheerleader standing next to Wes. I don't know who this character is supposed to be, this particular cheerleader, but she's just sort of slack-jawed and staring into the camera.
She's just like,
hey, the whole time. What do you got here, movies?
That's when we just cut to the scars, and they're under the bleachers, and they're drinking the same bottle of alcohol.
Tenna Fly Viper.
Yeah. And they're all pissed about the principal, and they ogle the cheerleaders, and then they spot Heather walking into the gym.
I have a theory about how they got that bottle.
We got a Hughes Clues.
They left it in the car after they stole it.
Oh, that makes fucking sense.
God damn, we did have a Hughes Clues.
Hughes.
Hughes
God
Clues.
damn.
Freaking away. We need to make that theme song and have that chime in every time.
Yeah, I think Hughes needs another Screwballs too. There's so many of these movies that are so dark, like so like bad things are happening. We need another Screwballs, where bad things happen, but it's with a smile, The crimes aren't violent,
If you can molest 15 girls in a row, it's funny. It's not a crime.
1 is a crime. 15 is comedy.
Yeah,
You kill one man, you're a murderer. You kill 1,000, you're a conqueror.
Oh boy. So we go back to the aerobics class, and like Heather walks in, and Cindy, the head cheerleader, comes in to find Johnny Football just staring at Linda again. And this is basically like, so this is the routine. And she's like, why do you keep staring at her? And he's like, it's not what you think it is. It is. This is what I wrote. Holy shit. I just realized that Grindbin all-star Christy Summers from Tomboy and Mugsy's Girls plays Cindy's friend in this movie, and she'll disappear very soon, but she's here. Thanks for coming.
I'm so happy you can recognize her, because I couldn't pick her out of a lineup.
Right from her face.
Is she the one wearing the Specials t-shirt?
In this one, she's just in a cheerleader outfit.
Okay. Right. Okay. I was
know.
really impressed that one of Brenda's gang is wearing a Specials
noticed that too.
t-shirt. I was like, that is fucking on point costuming.
So the class is over, and then this is...
bring your own costume.
Yeah.
The class is over, and this is when Linda goes over to talk to Heather, when we learn how she speaks to her, which is like a 5-year-old. Like you said, I really like this as the Congo monkey. And she goes, Heather, I go get changed now. You wait here for me.
And she's like, yeah, sounds good. I don't know why you keep talking to me like that.
Then I'll walk you home. And then all of a sudden, Heather pulls out a gift, and you're like, uh-oh. she's 2 days away from retirement.
Yeah,
like
it's
this shit.
definitely- This is the gold watch. This is the photo of my girl back home.
It's like, oh no, don't do it. And she's like, oh Heather, where you get this?
What would be great as a plot point that we don't explore in this film is that Heather thinks Linda's stupid because she only talks to her like that. She's like, that's my older sister. She's kind of slow.
Yeah.
I can't hear, but I can tell that she's not.
Okay, so then she goes to the showers. It's an excuse for nudity because we
There's a
pan.
lot of nudity.
And you know what's funny?
We hang on it for a while.
Yeah.
This is the same year as Slumber Party Massacre, 84, and it has almost identical, like, unnecessarily gratuitous shower scene in a high school. A lot of stuff in, like, the gyms, the same kind of groups of girls, and I'm wondering who copied who.
I know who copied it later on with Starship Troopers.
It's true.
Because they were
so this
just
is
out of
like
high
the-
school.
Yeah, just like the Starship Troopers.
And when that giant bug shows up.
Yeah. You know, the shower scene. You
No,
remember?
yeah, I do.
But no, it makes no sense because we pan through a good like 2 minutes of women naked where if you're watching this at home and somebody will walk in the room, you're like, no, it's not what you think it is. Like,
No,
this is
it's
a real movie.
It's a real movie.
We get that in almost every movie.
I was going to
we
say,
cover here.
every time I watch this on a TV, somebody's like, why are you watching a porn? I'm like, listen, there's some kind of plot here, they tell me.
Because we are watching women fully soap up. Like, it takes a while. They're like, all right, get it
I
on.
remember one time I was watching the Toxic Avenger when I was a kid, watching in the living room, and there's a scene where he's being messed with by the cool girl who like kind of straddles him and takes off her shirt. My grandfather happened to walk by, then he's like, "Are you watching erotica?" And then when he verified that I wasn't, he was like, "Eh." And he left the room. Like he was gonna chill and watch it with me until he realized it was just some
I thought
shitty
you were
horror
cool,
film.
kid.
Yeah, I really got kind of a I thought you were cool kid from my grandfather.
I'll check in with you in a few years.
Yeah.
When I was watching Super Vixens, that
Oh,
was
boy.
that. If you look on IMDb, it's pornographic. Is the first genre.
Yeah,
of
well,
it.
a Russ Meyer movie should probably be watched in the comfort of a closed door room and window.
Or a barn.
Yeah. Okay, so we pan over a long time from nudity to see our characters, which have nothing to do with the nudity. They're just standing right on the other side of a shower.
Waving at us, waiting for us to get to him.
But they're all dressed, so they're all ready to go. And then we learn, another person's 2 days away from retirement because there's, a wedding.
Wedding.
Oh boy.
High school wedding.
I love this. This dialogue is so great because they keep going on and on about how nothing can possibly go wrong.
I wish they'd stop and all look at the camera every time they did that.
Linda pretty much
Right,
does.
guys at home?
She's like, you remember? Nobody remembers what we just did the other night, right? Nothing's gonna ruin that special day. Trust me, everything's gonna be great. Even her friend's like, sometimes I think that he's only marrying me because I got pregnant. And
Right.
she's like,
We're high schoolers.
Yeah. And she's like, you know what? I really think it's love. Everything's perfect. You guys are destined together, And she just kind of turns at the camera. She's like, everything's going to be fine, guys. It's nothing to worry about.
Definitely gonna see that baby reach.
And so then...
It also ends with her saying, "Will you name the kid after me?"
Well, I am the godmother.
Yeah,
Since I am the godmother,
that
which
was-
the way this is gone, I don't think that was ever even agreed upon. She just declared herself that.
I mean...
I also thought that it was implied that it was not, she faked the pregnancy.
That's what I thought it was.
That's what I thought it was too.
But then
The rest of the film, though, we treat it like it was
treat it like
absolutely
it's
real.
But
I
swear
should
that
really
she-
rewatch that part because it does. I rewatched a few parts because they didn't make sense, and I should go back and watch that one.
Yeah, I think that the friend admits that she faked the pregnancy to get
What?
marriage. Because also,
she faked it, but then they eventually got
they
pregnant.
actually did get pregnant. Okay.
I think that's how that's.
That is the most confusing plot point. Like, just don't even have it.
I think it's just we're working so fast and loose with this movie that like that was going to be a plot point, and then everyone just abandoned that, and they left that early part in.
But this is also weird because she's talking about how like this marriage is her only way out of the shithole, which you may not like Los Angeles, but Los Angeles is not like the town that you have to get married to get out of.
Yeah.
Like,
however,
You
to
can
that
leave,
point,
man.
we have established that these kids live on Hollywood Boulevard.
yeah. When you see that every day, it
Yeah.
probably does seem like a shithole. And
We got to get the fuck out of here.
like 17-year-old marriage.
Maybe they
probably.
just mean Burbank.
Yeah, we
you
gotta
know?
walk the
Yeah,
San
they gotta get
Pedro.
to the valley with La Bamba.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to get to the valley. We're going to go buy a farm in Burbank.
Someday we're gonna get over those hills, those damned Hollywood hills.
We're gonna get sheep and pigs and
Yeah,
stuff.
we're going to go buy a farm next to Magic Mountain. out in Valencia. Okay, yeah, this is the thing is like, so Linda is the alpha of this group for sure.
Linda's
but,
the alpha in everything.
I mean, it's a little, yeah, well, that's true. It's a little presumptuous to say, like, you also got to name your kid after me. It's like, Jesus.
Well, you have to draw like parallel lines with her and Jake.
Do you think though that like Linda would be there in the
long-term booking right
in the
there.
delivery room with the pen, filling it out herself, Brenda, and her middle name's Heather,
And then she looks again and goes, "Oh, Brendan."
And this is also when I said, welcome Grindbin All-Star Deborah Blee from Beach Girls. You will be missed in the 2 scenes that you're in this movie. She just is kind of part of the group sometimes. So then we go to Heather alone in the gym, and that's when one of the scars, Red, shows up.
And by the way, Red, the makeup they've put on him makes it look like he's one of the people who's turning into a zombie in Return of the Living Dead. He's so pale and sunken-eyed. I'm like, he got bit at some point. I don't know if like Linda bit him or...
I thought he'd just been listening to like a lot of Morrissey.
Yeah, I thought he looked like Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, he's
like
very sad.
Well,
yeah.
you know, he does side with the rapist. So maybe he has been listening to a lot of Morrissey.
I love though. So he comes in and he's hitting on her and everything, and he's like, "Hi." He's treating her like a real person, by the way. He's like, "Oh, hi, it's nice to meet you," you know. And she's like, "Oh, refreshing. Somebody's not talking to me like I'm 5." And like a Congo monkey.
Someone who understands.
Yeah.
Somebody who actually wants to learn sign language, unlike my sister.
Yeah, she's
it's a
actually
weirdly tender moment between her and her soon-to-be rapist.
At first, she's
Spoiler.
like not put off by it. She's like, "Oh, this is nice. Finally, a normal human interaction." It's until the part when he goes like, "You ever seen this one?" and puts the finger through the hole, and you're like, "Guy."
You're like, oh. Also, I don't know if this was just the version I was watching, but there was like weird crowd sound behind.
No, it is. It's like this, like the soundtrack, the music is almost like there's like a basketball game going
it's
on.
really bizarre because they're the only people in that gym.
For 3.
From
Boom, shakalaka! Boom goes the dynamite.
He's on fire.
And like he does the whole, you know, the finger through the hole. Do you?
Little hot dog through a donut.
I asked this in episode 5, and I would like to ask you guys: do you think that's a real sign?
No.
I bet you it is.
How do you know?
Sometimes American Sign Language is on the nose.
Yeah.
Like, so, because, you know, why not? So, yeah, I'm willing to bet that's intercourse.
So my brother took sign language. I should ask him, actually. I'll ask him tomorrow on Thanksgiving. Too late for this episode. But
text him.
He
Send him a
did
text.
tell me it's very dangerous, the difference between hungry and horny in sign language.
Really?
Hungry is you just put your hand like this, like down from your throat to your stomach.
For those of you listening to our show and not watching it, Mike is pantomiming like he's pulling down a zipper on a hoodie.
Yeah, that's hungry. But if you do it twice, it's I'm horny.
He's done that,
You're
but
really
twice,
hungry.
and he's visibly aroused.
So if somebody was going like this, it's like, oh, well,
So I can
they're
do-
not really hungry. They're just really horny.
So I can do this. That's horny. Then this is more.
Yeah. Uses learning all the dirty. Put the finger through the hole one, too. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know that one, Hughes?
Yeah, if you flip the hand over, it's a different position.
Someone's taking
That's
a
back
course.
door. Yeah. I do like it. So he's like, you know, sign language, you know, this one. And she's just confused. She's like, no, I don't think so.
That's her going, that's not a sign. I mean, I know what you mean, but that's not. Okay.
So then we go to the lockers, and this is when Cindy comes back, and she's like, hey, Linda, I want you to stay away from Johnny Football. And Linda goes, look, how many times do I have to fucking tell you I do not like him? And in fact, I wouldn't fuck him if he had the last dick on earth.
I do not like him. I would not fuck him on a boat. I would not fuck him in a boat.
And somehow, this makes Cindy even more mad. Which is like, she literally just said what you wanted. She just said, I do not like him. I would not fuck him. Just what Bobby just said. And Cindy's like, but I want you to. I want you to be jealous. And then they get in a giant brawl. But we cut back to Heather and Red. And he's like, hey, you ever kissed a guy before? And that's when she writes father on a piece of paper. He's like, father? That's
That's weird.
By the way,
it's like that in their
was there
family.
a motorcycle guy chasing you?
He's like, no, I mean with tongue. And then she just writes father again. He's like, okay, I think maybe
And
maybe
so
I should step out of here.
She explains, though, that also to him that her father is no longer with us. So essentially, the one thing she has gotten across to him is the last man that kissed me is dead.
Yeah. And ominous.
Ominous.
Yeah.
The ASL sign for intercourse is 2 fingers at your side, thrust.
Oh.
For those of you listening,
Hughes
Hughes has just pantomime humping the table that we're sitting
Which
at
is also just how
whilst playing
white,
a pinball machine. He has pantomimed having sex with a pinball machine.
That's also just how white people dance at weddings. Like, that's how everybody dances at a wedding.
Not me, man. You didn't see me tear up a cruise ship.
Oh, yeah? You never do the 2-hand move?
I don't have to. Everyone else does.
Don't worry. We'll be seeing the Bobby pictures on the Twitter real soon.
Oh, dear.
Okay, so she's getting uncomfortable as he basically comes in and he's like, well, why don't we try practicing kissing? And then he grabs her and he kisses too hard. And that's
She
when
liked the first kiss. She was like,
did.
okay with it. There was a lot of acting in this one.
Well, Linnea is a
She was
better
acting the
actress.
hell out of this scene.
Yeah.
For not being able to say anything.
Her face told the story. It did. And then the other guys come in.
Well, she tries to escape. So she runs to like one door and opens it, and Headband, I think, is there. So how long was he fucking standing there?
He popped out of a cake. You didn't
Yeah,
see
he's just
it?
waiting. He's like, hey, just waiting for my cue.
He's like, where's
Getting
the
in some
pole?
crunches.
Where's the pole in this gym, huh? Let me show you a little show, baby. So they all come in and they're just like, hey, we're going to rape you now. We go back to the girl fight in the shower, which is... It's a pretty good girl fight in the shower.
There's multiple girl fights going on in the shower. Wes is causing a lot of issues, I guess.
Yeah.
And in the background, we can see 2 women fighting, and then one spins around. We actually get Bush in the shot. Like, it's full
I'm
on.
sure that was a full direction. Nope. Spin it. Spin it.
Because there was no reason for her. Like, they were fighting like this in the camera, so it would just be a butt. And then, like, they reverse headlock her right into the camera. It was weird. There was a lot of stuff going on in the background. There was no real fighting between Linda and the other girl.
Yeah, they're just like circling each other, and there's the 2 girls in the background who are just fucking going at it. I want their story.
Street people.
They were saving it for part 2. It was going to run concurrently. It's like Vantage Point.
It's gonna be like
Insidious 2.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. It's like their whole story.
Or Tag and Bink, if you ever read old Star Wars comics.
Yeah.
There's
Official
I heard are
canon.
going to be in the next movie.
There's a lot of shower fights in those.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that.
Imperial showers. So I don't know.
Those stormtroopers, man.
But it's so funny when they do this movie
can't hit a
fight
thing.
because they've given no choreography or direction because Linda will be like, come at me. And then she comes at her and she just kind of gives her like a noogie and then pushes her off. And then it's like, come at me. We just repeat the whole thing over and over.
Repeat the spot.
Also, why would you fight in the water? I mean, come on. Everybody's getting wet, you know? It seems like it's... Keep it in the lockers, you know? That's all I'm
You
saying.
do it in the water, it turns into a fun thing.
Then everybody's clothes are wet. Your whole day's ruined, you know?
Any fist fight I ever started at Wild Rivers, everyone was having a good time.
So then we get the worst scene in the movie where they rape Heather, where the Scars rape Heather.
Rape scenes are terrible. There is a weird part in this where they bite her butt, and that was the weird. That was like, this is awful, and it was like, wait, what?
That was the weird part for you? How about when they pull off her top and then circle her breasts with lipstick?
What was that about?
Targets. I don't know.
This is a female organ.
Like it was. They were teaching Vinny on something here. I don't know what this was about.
Well, they force Vinny to have sex with her.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it, and they push him into it, and it's
Literally push him into it.
An initiation thing for their gang. They're like, if you're one of us, you're gonna do this.
It's very similar to I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Absolutely.
But did you notice the part once again? Another Grindbin movie where somebody says this is the beefcake goes, "Happy birthday, Vinny." He says it like looking beyond the camera, and probably the best delivered line of this movie. Happy birthday, Vinny.
And then Vinny opens up a package of snowballs, and he sits down.
We got a lot of weird birthday traditions on this show, and
There's
this is
either a
by
cake
far.
or a reference to a birthday at all times.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if they baked Vinny a cake after all this? Vinny,
Would be boobs.
we'd like to welcome you into the Scars officially. Yeah, they get an erotic cake on Hollywood Boulevard.
And
you know?
Fargo jumps out of it.
Yeah! Or just his dick.
Up Periscope. Boop. Blow it out.
Loose screws. That would have been a perfect loose screws. That's a real Hugh Rection gag. You know, the old dick is a candle, and then some girl lights it. Uh-oh.
Then Dean Paul Ryan comes out and goes, I thought I told you not to do the cake trick. Remind me of
That's mine.
myself.
Okay, so then we go to Linda in Vernon's office. Oh my God.
Oh wait, you got like the transition between the rape and the office scene is a kind of crazy telephone ring. Like
Yeah.
I think Vinny's like thrust on top with the ring and the cut. It's a really good jarring cut.
The editing, like I said, the editing and the structure of this movie is very good. It's good. It's like a traditional 3-act movie. We don't wander. The plot is nice and tight. It's
They know what they're doing making this movie.
And the editing is good. It's like a theatrical movie. Of course,
Which
it's
is
just
hard to get your brain around.
that this would ever
This
be
is
released.
a competent film.
This is probably the craziest competent film I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So Linda lights a cigarette, and John Vernon says, "Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth," which you can hear from our intro song.
Which is not what I thought that line would have been from. Like, and I've heard it in all the intros. I was like, oh, that's
the great thing about our intro song is like all that shit's not in the right context, and it works.
Yeah, and it's moved around too.
Yeah.
So like some of the words come before other parts, so it's actually really good.
And then I like this.
Thank you, Chris, man.
Yes, thanks, man. What do you have to say for yourself? So
I never knew that.
I do like this. So Sydney, we just cut to Sydney's in there, and she's crying in another chair. And I just write, you started this. You're the one who started the fight. You're the one who confronted Linda. Like, where did you think this was going to end up? That they'd just be like, oh, it's all Linda's fault. She's the Hollywood Boulevard girl, and we'll just not blame the prep cheerleader.
Well, it turns out that's exactly what happens.
Because Vernon, he keeps telling her over and over. He's like, stop crying. Shut up. Shut up. And then he goes, all right, get out of here. Blow your nose and get out of here. And then he looks at Linda and he says, which is probably the most inappropriate line in the movie, a movie with a rape. This is the most inappropriate line when he looks at Linda and says, I don't understand it. You're a bright girl. You got a pretty face, a good figure.
Cut. Nothing following that. We just go to the next scene. Like, what was the point he was trying to make there?
Yeah, it seems like we cut, thankfully,
like the
a little
next line
early.
was, I want to show you a couple Polaroids.
Well, because later when Linda leaves, she says, that guy's been trying to get in my pants since I was a freshman. And you're like, oh my God.
God damn it.
Vernon, I wanted to like you. But this... and I also say in my notes, by the way, Linda doesn't seem concerned at all about her sister at this point. She was like, wait here for me while I get changed, while she goes and gets in a brawl. Doesn't tell any of her friends, can you go get my sister? Nothing. She's just like, fuck it. She'll be fine.
For like the next couple of minutes, like a good 10 minutes.
A good half hour to hour. She went from the
good
brawl
4
to...
days.
Then we go to the post-rape. So Vinny's done, and then they fight over who goes next. And this scene is very telling.
Very much.
Jake, okay, so basically Fargo and Red are fighting. He's like, it's Red's turn. And he goes, no, it's Fargo's turn. And then Fargo's about to go in there, and Jake just grabs him. And he goes...
suddenly a passionate embrace.
Well, before that, he goes, no, it's Red's turn.
Okay.
And that's when Fargo grabs Jake by the back of the head and brings him close, and they make out. And then they just start laughing hysterically about it, like,
We're just kidding. We're just kidding.
It's the heat of the moment, right? Oh my God, I can't believe we did that in front of the guys. Oh God.
And it's probably the most real acting either of those actors does in this movie. Like, that's the most believable part was when they do that.
Yeah. They make out, they laugh, and then we just cut. To the girls outside, that's when Linda... Okay, somebody actually says to her, she's like, boy, I hope your sister's okay. And Linda's like, she's fine. She can take care of herself.
I tied her up to the bike rack. She's not going to go far.
If she could take care of herself, why wouldn't you let her just walk home?
Yeah. He's like, go walk home. She's like, no, I'll walk you home.
Because a deaf person can't do anything.
Get you raindrop drink.
Why wouldn't they bring her into the locker room with her? She's a girl.
That's a good point, Hughes. You know?
Yeah, for some reason, anyone with a disability can't come in this locker room.
That's a boob, Heather. Boob.
They
didn't watch the other girls to catch death.
So then the doctor... Oh, the rape is finally over. Thank God. And then Jake decides to give her one last kick.
He boots her in the face.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But then, like, they leave, and then Linda and all her friends go in the gym, and they start screaming, Heather, Heather. And that's great when the one girl goes, shit, what are you yelling for? Heather's deaf.
Heather's deaf, you dumb shit.
And like, oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Right.
How do you find a deaf person? You just turn off the lights on and off or something?
Laser pointer? Is that a thing yet in 84?
And so then we go to the doc. Okay, did you notice this, by the way? The hospital's name?
Doctor's Hospital.
Doctor's Hospital is the
Whoa.
name of the hospital.
A division of basic medical?
I said that's worse than basic medical.
That's going to become a
Doctor's
thing now. We have to look at every hospital and all these
Yeah.
building names.
It is clearly
Next time on Doctor's Hospital.
like a bowling alley sign that just says Doctor's Hospital on it. And Heather is in the hospital bed recovering, and Linda and her mom are there. And Linda's doing her great acting by the window. You know, like, all right, call action. I'm going to really get into this one, you know.
I'm going to take this one for a walk.
Yeah, and the mom's like, I'm really sad. And Linda's like, I know. It's bad times. We just got to stand strong, Mom. And then she's like, go home and cry. I'll stay here, watch after. And then we cut to home. And so Linda goes home, right? And she looks in Heather's room, and this is when I write, by the looks of it, Linnea Quigley is actually playing a 5-year-old because her room's full of, like, stuffed animals and ballet shoes and, like, all pink
There is
stuff.
more going on here than just her being deaf.
Yeah, there's so much more stuff. Because if she's a ballet dancer, then she's probably had hearing at one point.
Yeah.
Right.
Not necessarily.
Well,
I watched Dancing with the Stars. They had a guy on season or two ago, born deaf but dances.
You know,
you get someone
not
teaches
very
you
well.
the timing. You just have to count it out in your head.
Hughes, I got a lot of shit when I said that in
Did you?
episode 5, and somebody, yes, they did provide me with
There are
proof
deaf
that there are
dancers.
deaf dancers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deaf ballet dancers.
I'm talking about this movie's backstory that we didn't get.
Yeah, well, that could make
You
sense.
can argue with me about the abilities of humans
It is
outside of this movie.
possible that Linnea
Yes.
danced on her home planet.
Well, it's also possible that Linda's the reason she's deaf, which I definitely
That
think
could
is a
also be a
possibility.
possibility.
Or she was in a car crash with her dad, and her dad died, and she came out deaf.
It is interesting to
There's
talk
a
about
whole-
like what age Heather is really supposed to be.
I'm guessing
Well-
conservatively 4.
Also, note in the rape scene when they pull off her top, she's wearing like a training bra. So I think we're supposed to read her as younger than the actress was, but like how young?
I think it's supposed to be like she's like a junior high student or something. It's really bad.
I think that's what they're going for, yeah.
Because she doesn't go to the school.
Which explains a line that we get from John Vernon later of she shouldn't have been there anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to
Which
that.
sounds very victim blamey and is.
Oh,
but-
it is. That's what he told the cops. You
Yeah,
know,
it's an awful thing to say.
Yeah, I'm the principal of this. You know, she is not a student. She's not supposed to be here. You know, so my hands are tied. What am I gonna do?
How many people are allowed to just roam this school? Is it that rampant?
She roams the whole town. Obviously, what she does all day, I don't know. To be honest, we never get
That's
that.
part of the backstory. She doesn't go to school. That's why she dresses the way she does. That's why they talk to her the way they do. She never went to school. She has a child's mind.
So how do we get rid of, like, how do we drown those sorrows, guys? My sister was just raped. She's in the hospital. What do we do?
You go club it.
Yeah,
Party.
a little bit of rock and roll.
And nothing says rock and roll more than a neon sign that says rock and roll.
It's true. That is. It couldn't be more
It's-
rock
it's
and roll.
literally
Oh my
true.
God.
Than if it were brighter.
However, rock and roll, but I mean, we're clearly like not rock and roll. Like it's like pop, like new wave is what we're getting in this movie. Like I
know-
would not call it rock and roll.
Everybody's talking about the new sound.
Around
Funny,
the town,
but
yeah.
it's still rock and roll to me.
So this very 80s band is playing John Farnham's soundtrack, but it's not him. And Linda's crying to some lady who will never appear again in this movie.
Just some lady.
But this lady's really taking it all for her few minutes, you know? I just write, why is she here? What are we doing? Who are these people? Is Linda's just like crying? She's like, you don't understand, Francine. And she's just sitting there crying at the table, and all her friends are kind of looking at her like, ooh, I don't think we should have invited her out tonight.
She's really killing our buzz here. This is not.
This is the worst bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Who's with her
right,
sister
it's the
on the
bachelorette
first
party.
night of staying over in the hospital?
Well,
That's why the girls are wearing the matching
mom.
jackets. It's the bachelorette party for the wedding.
did you just hear this?
No.
no.
What? This is it's the
Bullshit. It's Tanner. Hey.
Hey, it's the this is the bachelorette party for the wedding.
Is it supposed to actually be?
I think so, because that's why the girls are all wearing the jackets.
That makes sense.
And everything's focused on the
no.
girl getting married.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's
Oh my
So
god.
she had prior obligations.
And it
she
wasn't that
couldn't
we're dancing
miss.
off our sorrows so
No.
much as is like, well, look, I said I'd go.
yeah.
I think they'd be okay if they're like, Linda, you don't need to go. She's like, no, it's fine.
And now we've learned something about Francine. That, like, she's not going to be cool with me not going. She doesn't care what happened.
Linda, look, I know Heather got raped, but people get raped every day. Yeah.
This is my big day.
You're not going to ruin it. You said in the locker room nothing would ruin my big day.
You know what? I am going to name my kid after you. I'm naming my kid Selfish Bitch.
And so Linda's just there crying her eyes out. Everybody's looking at her like, well, this was a mistake. And then the lady, the lady who's owns this club apparently is like, Manuel, another round of drinks. And I'm like, whoa. They're all high schoolers. Like, what do you mean another round of Cokes? Like, whoa. What do you mean another round of drinks?
Hey, it's like they did it back in Riverdale.
Yeah. Just another round of the fountain, another round of sodas. So basically, Linda, so she just goes on and how Linda says it's up to her to make things right.
And when she does that, the rest of the girls all kind of echo it. They all go make things right.
And I'm like, no, we need a voice of reason. How about you, old lady? And she's just like, yeah, no, that sounds good. Because your school won't do anything. The goddamn cops won't do anything.
Yeah, someone mentions the cops, and Linda says the cops are a bunch of pussies.
And that's when she goes, Linda, you just gotta believe. And that great line when she goes, in what? God? I gave up when my father died. And we're like, whoa. Lots of stuff are coming out of this table.
I wanted the Mel Gibson flashback at that point.
I was hoping Tom from Psychomania would come around the corner and go, no, you got to believe.
Do you think that we cut back to that Family Guy style flashback, right? And Linda's on her knees with a crucifix in her hand, and she stands up, she goes, it's not working for me, and throws it down.
No, it's going to be her dad pinned between a tree and a car, and she comes dressed as a nun.
And somebody says, swing away, Linda, swing away. So then the Scars
twist.
We go to the Scars hangout, and this is when we learned that they apparently all live in like a loading dock, like where Dolomite found that drugs. Like they all live in a rolling, like a roll door loading dock with a bunch of fabric or something.
They live in a fabric warehouse.
They kind of live in a 1966 henchman Batman episode.
Absolutely.
You wonder why they
to say goon on them.
Yeah.
You wonder why they have such good style, and that they're
making
also
their own clothes.
Yeah, they're also gay men. They own a fashion store in the fashion district in LA. If you've ever been there, there's a bunch of fabric warehouses. The Scars are out there every weekday. That's what they do, other than selling drugs. The dressmaking's going okay. The drugs are kind of supplementing it, but they hope at one point the dresses will take over.
I remember them on Project Runway. It was a very weird season. But they won.
They're now called the Fabulous Scars.
That's what they're hoping to eventually. They're teaching Vinny how to sew, like
Tim Gunn is just sitting there, just getting him sass.
Vinny, go get your jacket, and then go get your sewing kit, and then go get your shine box.
Yeah. Instead of go get your shine box, just go get your sewing kit.
I told you I don't do that anymore.
These buttons are terrible, Vinny. Terrible. So, they all live in this fabric store where they sell dresses. They pick Vinny up.
They're at the old dress factory.
They pick Vinny up from his restaurant job where he's, like the old, I'm a bus boy, and he's putting the garbage out in the dumpster, just, trying to make his way. He's like... He's like a character like in an Oliver Twist novel or something, Vinny. He's just like, he doesn't belong in this movie at all. Like he's some sort of old-timey character that's fallen on the Scars. And he's having second thoughts about the whole gang thing. He's like, guys, I'm not so sure about the whole thing. Like, you didn't tell me we were going to have to start raping women and all that. I thought we were just kind of hanging out with the cool leather jackets and doing some dance numbers.
The T-Birds thing, it would have been great.
Guys, what happened to doing the dance numbers at the fabric warehouse on weeknights? That was more fun than this going out raping, eh?
Am I the only one who misses that?
Show of hands. Who misses it? Red? You? Red? I thought I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, you're on my side, right, Red?
Your hand started to go up, Red.
Yeah.
You can't lie.
Thinking,
I saw it.
What? Fargo? No?
Nothing from Fargo?
Ever since you stopped wearing a shirt, Fargo, you're acting like a tough guy.
They're
Actually,
actually
like you're better than all of us.
There actually used to be like 3 more members of the Scars, but they're still making the dresses and dancing.
The silver hard hat was non-refundable, though. That's what he's really upset about.
Do you think that they're all like eventually trying to move to the Bronx?
Yeah. They become the Dazzling Truth.
Because this takes place in some bizarre quasi like
There are
post-apocalyptic
moments
LA,
when
right?
we get to Francine running through the streets. It's the Bronx.
Yeah.
It's the 1990 Bronx.
I've been to Skid Row on accident. It doesn't even look that bad. Like, it looks really bad.
No, they're doing great over there.
They got their own tents.
Yeah, like we said in a past episode, they make them clean up now. So
It's pretty shitty.
that's a new thing, yeah. So we go back to the club. The lovebirds, the two girl, the bride and the groom. They're talking about how they're going to move away and get a farm. Everything is all right, guys.
And
Everything is fine.
She clarifies too. She's like, yeah, with dogs and horses, like we know what a farm is, Francine. It's all right.
Yeah, and
with the dogs and the animals and
yeah,
the
like
mooing.
what you see in the books, right?
The
that's how
E-I-E-I-O.
by the way, that's how her boyfriend talks. He does the whole like a farm, and then but he won't talk
like a
until
newsie.
But yeah, he does talk like a newsie. He really does.
If I keep selling these papes, we're gonna get a farm.
And
We'll show you, Mr. Hurst.
Somebody even says to him, they're like, "Do you know anything about a farm?" She's like, "Fuck no, we just want one." It's like the dream.
It's what you do.
Yeah,
You get pregnant in high school and you move to a farm.
I thought everybody moved out of LA to go get a farm. I was like, okay.
Guarantee we're gonna buy the farm.
Yeah, guaranteed. Everything is fine. Okay? Nothing's going to go wrong. The scars show up. They rough up that poor guy one more time. They need money from him. But guess what? He pays. They love the guy.
We get another dick grab in this scene, too.
grab.
We get the full Bronson this time where he reaches under the table.
He grabs his dick again?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I did not even see that.
I just
wrote
started
it
piecing
down
things together.
with 3 exclamation points.
Dick
And it's a big dick grab.
That's just Jake's way of saying hello. If you're a woman, he goes upstairs. If you're a man, he goes downstairs.
Jake's
That's
a foreign exchange student back in his home country.
That's how they do it in
That's how you
France.
greet other men.
Where I'm from.
That's why I kissed this guy earlier.
Yeah, Gay Paris.
My name's Fargo.
So they force feed Benny some beer. They take a beer and shove it down his mouth. They're like, "Here, this is how you drink it, kid." And they're pouring it down his throat, and he's just like, "Oh, I don't like it." And then they grab a woman and they molest her, and they're like, "Vinny, do you like girls? Is this what you want?" And he's like, "No, I'm not really comfortable, guys. I think we should stop ganging around." Then the soon-to-be married girl, she comes at Francine, right? She comes out of the bathroom.
Talk about some bad timing.
Oh, yeah. It's like they start passing her around, and she's like, "I didn't wash my hands. No. Joke's on you." And they pass
You're all
her.
gonna be deaf now.
Y'all got Legionnaire's disease. Fuck you. So they pass her around for a while, and they're like, "Vinny, do you like this girl?" And he's like, "No, I'm really uncomfortable. Can I go back to my restaurant job?" And they're like, no, you need to get this girl. And basically nothing happens. These 2 guys walk over. Not her boyfriend, by the way.
Yeah, I was really confused because I thought it was the boyfriend at first. I was like, no, it's just two dudes.
white knights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Chris Chan over here. Chris Chan. Oh, God. So, yeah, two white knight snowflakes come over. Huh? He was...
2 good Samaritans.
And because Jake stands up or something, and he's like, "Wait, what's the problem here?" They're like, "You're grabbing a woman." He's like, "I don't see what's wrong with it." And he's like, "Hey, Fargo, apologize to the man." And they do their little back and forth, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was allowed to not grab a woman." And then they get into a big bar brawl.
And the funny thing during this is, like, this brawl is going off. Like, the Dudley boys are putting people through tables, and the band doesn't stop playing.
The band does not stop
The band's
playing.
just like, play the gig, man. Play the gig. It's like Muppet Treasure Island.
It's a roadhouse, man. It's a roadhouse scene.
Absolutely.
Well-
Swayze came through the room and just started going.
Do you like the scene where the band actually looks at the fight? Like, they have cutaways of them looking at it, and they're like, "Do we stop? No, we keep going."
No.
Because then the band finishes, and then the blind keyboardist goes to the mic and goes like, "His name's John Dalton."
And so then the lovebird girl, so Francine gets a knife, and so from what I can see, she slashes Jake in the back, but somehow she cuts his face.
Yep.
And
That's a pretty hard slash.
yeah, right through him. The knife went through the skull, and he's all upset. Then we go to class, right? So we just cut from this scene to class, the infamous from our intro song. This book ain't got no real poetry. This guy, so this is Francine's soon-to-be husband. He talks like a fucking newsie.
Yeah.
is the teacher's trying to teach a class, and she's like, we're going to talk about poetry today. And he goes, what? How come this book ain't got no real poetry?
And this teacher's pretty cool. She's like, all right, let's hear it out.
Well,
she's cool Shelley Long.
Yeah.
She says, like what? And he goes, like stuff that makes sense. And she's like, okay, well, why don't you give us a poem?
Tanner, would you like to recite the poem?
I believe I can remember it. Disco sucks and punk is dead. Give me rock or give me head.
Ow! And everybody's like, woo! And
some of the girls were a little put off. They're like, oh my God.
Ew, who talks about giving head in
He said
class?
head. And then the teacher's like, no, hold on. Let's examine this. What do you think he means by giving head?
Maria?
Yeah. Maria, you know. I'm like, this teacher's fired.
Well, okay.
I'm like, shit, what the hell?
She goes, Maria, do you know what head means? And Maria's like got a fucking Cracker Jack box open, like just snacking in her class. She goes, I'm not so sure I should be talking about this in school.
I don't normally get that question from anybody but the principal.
Yeah, I'm not in Vernon's office yet. And she's like, no, go ahead and explain it. And she's like, I don't know, I think it has something to do with like sex or something.
And there's a handful of girls again. They're like, oh my God.
But by the way, did you hear in the background there's some guy that goes, she gives it all the time. I was like, wow, did not hear that the first time. That's a headphone only listen.
Like, hey, high five, anyone, high five.
Okay, now this is the other thing. There's a guy in the back of the class giving Vinny shit this whole time. Who the fuck's that guy?
I don't know.
Was that like the old Scar guy they kicked out?
Nah, there's always I don't want to say extra. There's always background people that are like trying to maximize their screen time. He's like, well, here's what I'm doing during this scene.
Like
He gave himself a backstory. He's like, I'm Vinny's old friend
Yeah.
from before he joined the Scars.
You changed, Vinny. You're not the same.
Come over and play video games?
You used to be about the music.
Yeah, because
Can this guy say less dialogue, please?
he's just sitting behind him mouthing stuff you'll never hear. Just like, fuck you, Vinny, fuck you.
It's
fuck.
actually watermelon
It's
peas.
like-
Watermelon peas.
No, you know that scene when Nancy falls asleep in class while the guy's reading real poetry?
Yeah.
Is that guy's just in the background going like, give me rock or give me. And then Vinny's going to turn and see like Tina in a body bag.
This reminds me of Welcome to the Dollhouse. Like when you never see that movie?
I haven't, no.
Oh my God, you gotta see that movie.
We've talked about this before. I beg your pardon?
You're going to get raped at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a great part. Welcome
What
to
time
Dollhouse
is it now?
is a wonderful movie. But yeah, when Dawn Wiener's in class and Brandon's just sitting there the whole time going, fuck you. Through the whole class, just mouthing fuck you. That's like what this guy's doing behind Vinny. And he's not paying attention to him. So he's not even really aware that this guy exists. But like you said, the director was. Can you shut that fucking guy up? And eventually they just gave up. And so then basically the teacher goes into depth about what giving head means in relationship to death.
In this poetry section.
Yeah, and then I write, well, this would be bad, but it's okay. Everybody's like 30 in this class, so it doesn't really matter.
But what was the point of this class?
Exactly.
No, then it's the
filler.
pheromone section from dogs all over again. Although there was that good point when he says, come on, you got to get the newsy guy in there. He had those classic lines.
That guy in the background's like, can you define head? And he goes, no, you have to get that from another classmate.
I wanted them to, like a girl, go, I don't know what that is. And you hear a guy go, don't lie.
She knows what it is. It's the same guy.
Yeah.
I bet she knows. Like,
She knows.
Can that extra please shut up?
I know she knows.
I'm not an extra. I'm background.
Ask your mom.
Zing.
High five, high five.
You were off this show.
So finally this class ends and the teacher's like, hey, Linda, can I talk to you for a second? And then Linda's like, all right, well, if you want to talk to me, you're going to talk to me. And she lights her cigarette and she walks over and she's like, I'm going to be a badass now. And the teacher's like, look, I'm really sorry about what happened to your sister and stuff. It's a tragedy. And she's like, hey, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you for
I'm gonna
being a
stop
teacher.
you right there.
Yeah.
You only see us for 1 or 2 hours a day. You don't know anything.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, fine. Fuck you too, Linda. Like, you're making me, it's really hard to care about you, Linda.
Yeah.
First of all, you're the one who stole that fucking car. So, in a way, you're indirectly or directly responsible for your sister getting raped.
That's why she's so upset about it.
Yeah, you stole the car, you put the trash in it, you left her in the locker, like the gym by herself. So,
But yeah, she slices this teacher up with all that edge.
Yeah. And so then we go to another class, a whole nother fucking class where people are just kind of, it's before class. They get there early and they're just dancing around. And
did anybody ever dance in a class while you were there? Like get on the top of it?
Never.
I wish.
Wow. Tell us more.
Yeah, I wish I took a bird class because we could just fly through it.
My God. I saw that shopping cart roll by.
That's a Sister Act 2 quote.
Well, as long as you took it from somewhere else, I guess it's fine.
Boy. Yeah. Well, it's a real whoop. Whoops. That's a real whoops.
God, we don't have room for all these shopping carts.
They're piling up. It's like a Vaughn's parking lot here. So, okay. Basically, they're pulling a loose screws. They're dancing with the skeleton and everything, and people are doing the twist on top of desks. And then all of a sudden, the teacher walks in, and she's like, "Hey," before the teacher comes in, the girl who stabbed Jake, so Francine, she goes to Linda. She's like, "Do you think that I'm gonna get in trouble for stabbing Jake?" And Linda's like,
I can't imagine anything's gonna happen.
Linda goes, he's not gonna do shit. What's he ever done, right?
You cut him with a knife.
It's not like he raped my sister after we stole his car. I mean, he's not gonna do anything. He's got tons of scars. They're called the scars. Now it's like he looks like he's got a scar. He'll probably like it. Don't worry about it. Nothing's gonna ruin that wedding, girl.
Probably send you a nice card.
Send you on an early honeymoon.
Do you think that?
Free flight.
Do you think that? Jesus, Murray. Do you think that Francine invited the scars to the wedding?
Probably.
This does seem like the kind of movie universe where, like,
everyone's coming.
Yeah, everyone's coming.
Oh, that'd be so good. They see Linda at the same table.
She's like, "Oh, God damn it!"
Well, this is awkward.
It's Linda, Jake, Fargo, and Cindy, and Johnny Football. And she's like, "Really? How did I get at this table? God damn it!"
And then it's Heather, her first time out of the hospital, and the reveal of what happened is at the table.
And Jake is the godfather of the baby.
Man, this sequel writes itself.
We're naming him Jake. Nothing's gonna stand in our way. Okay, so then Johnny Football comes over to Linda, and I love this. He comes over to her, he goes, "Hey, Linda, can I talk to you for a second? So, like, I really like you and stuff, and the reason I like you is because like, you just seem like you're gonna explode at any moment, and like, I just
also,
really like you."
Also, you dress like Michael Jackson in the Bad video. And that's pretty damn cool for 1984.
He basically tells her, the reason I like you is because I feel like you're just going to fucking flip out at any moment. And that turns me on like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, he likes the drama.
And she's just like...
That's almost verbatim my wedding vows.
And Linda basically says, like, "Can you please fuck off? I've told you so many fucking times." And then Cindy walks up once again, and she's like, "What are you doing talking to her, Wes? I know it's not your fault." And Linda's just like, "Look, I'm not interested." And this is when I write, I think this is like a three's all right with me type of thing. Like, I think that eventually they're just going to try to break her down because they both want her. And they're like, "Look, we should just both go after
That's
her."
where all the frustration's coming from.
Yeah.
She can't get her on board.
We just got to break her down. And then eventually she'll come to our party. She'll see it. It'll all work out at the wedding. We'll get her a little bit liquored up, and maybe we can propose it to her. And they'll all sit down at a table. Wes will come up and go, "Hey, three's all right with me." So basically Linda's like, "No, I don't want you. I don't want to fuck that guy. Please leave me alone, people. You are in a whole different movie that I'm not in, and this has nothing to do with anything else." Then the teacher walks in, and he's like, "All right, everybody, settle down. Put away the skeleton. Settle down. Settle down. We're going to learn about sex ed today."
And he pulls down the anatomy thing, and someone has drawn a giant dick on it.
Yeah.
Hilarity.
Like, on the poster that already has a dick,
Yes.
somebody drew a big dick. Like one you'd have to put on a nightstand. And like some googly eyes on the female one, like, and everybody's just fucking dying laughing and everything.
And if they ever do like they do a lot of represses of movie soundtracks, and if Waxwork or Mondo or somebody puts out the Savage Streets soundtrack, I hope that's the gatefold.
The big old. This looks like in the Big Lebowski when he went and saw what Jackie Treehorn was drawing, and it was just the big. It looked like the literally exact same big dick guy. And so then we cut to the scars, and they're at school now, and they're like, "Hey Vince, you didn't tell anybody about us raping that girl in the gym, right?" And he's like, "No, I didn't tell nobody. What makes you think that?" And they're like, "Oh no, just checking.
No reason."
Yep, cut back. Oh well,
that's the part where they drop that she's mute as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's where they find out like, oh, she can't tell anybody because she's mute.
The fuck?
However,
wait, so we got like a almost Helen Keller running around? She's deaf and mute?
You didn't know she was mute?
No.
Yeah, that's in the movie.
It said in the movie. It is.
It's said so
my argument I was
late.
about to say is that like nobody understands anything about her being deaf anyway. It could just be assumed.
So
I was hoping there'd be a scene toward the end of just like, I can understand everything all of you are saying, right?
She's 66% Helen Keller.
Yeah, she's almost there. And so then...
It's good to get you to say the offensive stuff.
But she's not a raging bitch like Helen Keller was, apparently,
What?
It's true. Apparently she was a real jerk.
Who wouldn't be?
But, well, really, how can you tell? Like, she signs angry?
Yeah, she was just like really hard to get along with.
Could she dance?
People was like, I feel like I'm talking to her, but she just isn't listening.
You got Bobby mad now.
Not mad, just
okay.
Disappointed.
Disappointed. The team dad.
Okay. This scene is because Vince is like, or Jake goes, "Hey Vince, I need you to get the bride for me. I need you to tell me where she's going to be." Cut back to the class, and the teacher's like, "All right, enough with the dick jokes. Now we're going to talk about ovaries." And he pulls out another chart, and then he goes, "Hey Cindy, why don't you tell us where we left off on ovaries? Can you stand up and address the class?" And this is one of the strangest lines of dialogue, is she stands up and she says, "I'm not allowed to talk about that. My parents say I can't talk about that at school." And he goes, "Okay, well, what can you talk about?" And she says, quote, "that people should be taught to stay in their own place and not try to pretend to be what they're not." And then just looks at Linda, and I'm like, the fuck was that?
She said own
what are you
class.
taught about? And she's like, well, we're taught that Linda's a bitch.
I'm like, I really want to meet her parents. Like, she goes home. I said this in the other episode.
Yeah.
Like, she goes home and their parents are like, "No, that's what you should be learning at school. About people should shut up and stay with their own kind."
Mommy, Daddy, where do babies come from? They come from shutting the fuck up. They come from knowing your place.
Then Linda says, "Don't push it, Cindy." And she says, especially when they have, quote, retards in their family. And that's the best Linda line, is when she slams down that pencil and goes, "That's it!" and stands up, and they get in a fucking brawl right there in the middle of the class while the teacher just goes, Girls. It's
like a hockey fight. You're going to let it go a minute or two?
All right, girls.
Don't.
And did you see, by the way, that Johnny Football is like holding the teacher back from getting into the fight? He's like, no, let's watch the end of this, huh?
This is what he wanted the whole time.
He's like,
this is over me.
Yeah, I've been trying to get this for months.
I get the winner.
I get the winner.
I'm finally the belle of the ball.
Do you think at some point he was planning on just kind of rolling into this fight? Like going,
Getting pulled into the dust cloud
not
like
my
Andy
shirt.
Capp.
Yeah. So then Linda wins by pulling Cindy's shirt off, because it's been like 20 minutes without boobs, so we just got to get them in. So she just exposes her.
Plays a little keep away with her bra.
Yeah.
With her shirt, rather.
And this is a real loose screws where she basically runs around like,
Yeah, Benny Hill's right out of the room.
And Hugh G is there with his camera.
And like she runs past the teacher, and he's just like, "The hell's going on?" And Wes is like, "You see that shit?" He's like, "Yeah, Wes, I did." So then we go back to John Vernon's office, and he's like, "Look, Linda, I'm sorry about your sister, okay? The police are doing everything they can, but she shouldn't have been there in the first place."
Yeah, that's when he says that.
And I'm like, yeah, the high school gym. She shouldn't have been in there.
That is a weird line.
It is.
That is totally victim shaming. Yeah. That's terrible. Like it says, like that's like I said, like he said to the cops. He's like, "Hey, she didn't go to this school. My hands are tied." I didn't say we protect students, but anybody else that comes on, school rules. What are you gonna do?
Literally everyone in this movie is awful.
Yes, there's not a good character. I mean,
I guess
Heather,
Francine's supposed to be.
Yeah, she's fine.
And she attacked a guy with a knife.
All she wants to do is buy the farm. That's all she wants.
Heather didn't do anything. She's the most pure of them all.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Linnea doesn't do anything bad. It would have been great at the end if like the real twist was she could talk and hear the whole time. And so
And
then
she's actually the leader of the Scars.
yeah, do 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 do.
I'm leader now.
And so Linda responds to him, rightfully so. Fuck you. And he says, you're a tough little bitch, aren't you? I like that. And once again, this is a principal in a school. But luckily, he just suspends her instead of...
Do you think Vernon just forgot which movie he was doing? 'Cause
Yeah,
he
he
was
thought this
talking to
was
Linda
Chain
and
Heat.
thought he was in Chain Heat. He's like, I'm the warden of this school.
She's like, John, you're the principal in this movie. And he's like, oh, really? Whatever. So Linda and her friends, they're telling everyone how everything's gonna be fine, and everybody needs to stop worrying about all this shit and start worrying about this goddamn wedding, guys. Come on, it's only a few days away. And you know what? Francine needs to go pick up her dress.
Also, I have an issue here. They're planning a wedding during the school year?
You know,
It's a shotgun wedding, man. That
Yeah.
baby's on its way.
yeah.
You
And
can't have a baby out of wedlock.
do you think
That's
that,
the worst thing.
do you think that part of the reason that the Scars are upset is because they didn't buy the dress from them
Yes.
and they bought it from Maria's mom?
This makes so much more sense. That's why they throw the dress in the upcoming scene.
Yeah, that's why he kisses it away, you know?
This piece of garbage.
So basically, Maria says, like, you and me, Francine, are going to go get the dress from my mom, who we're just going to introduce as a character who's going to speak in Spanish for a couple minutes.
Epstein's mom.
Yeah, just, you know. Linda's like, all right, well, don't worry, because nothing's going to ruin your big day, Francine. Nothing's going to ruin your big day, and kind of winks at the camera. But you know what? The dress fits, guys. Everything's fine. Okay? And so afterwards, Francine's all skipping down Hollywood Boulevard where you buy all your wedding dresses, you know.
I have that in my notes too.
And she just goes into post-apocalyptic L.A.
You mean 4th Street, Santa Ana?
She's just walking around. There's fucking dirt everywhere. You might see a tent coming up. You might see Murray.
The background keeps changing. Now she's in Egypt. There's the pyramids. Now she's by the Eiffel Tower.
I did expect Murray, Sonny, and Fish to walk by at some point and be like, hey, see you later. But this is great. So she's skipping around, right? And then, like a cartoon, the Scars car is just kind of creeping by.
Like 5 feet behind her.
Yeah.
It's like the Pac-Man.
It needs that dun 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 dun.
It's like I said, it's like when you beat 2 Pac-Man levels, you know, and it's like, and then you turn around, and she just turns around, she goes, oh God, the car, after they like rev their engine, and then we get in a long chase.
And she immediately starts running into wide open spaces that a car can drive.
Yeah, it's like, well, and the other thing is like she for some reason runs to like what the fuck, the LA River or some shit. It's like, where are you?
I've been on those stairs. They're by Chinatown.
You were doing your Savage Streets tour.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this
You
is
had a giant box under your arm or running like someone was chasing you?
Exactly. I had to relive the moment.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the stairs by the Angel City Lift over in downtown.
Yes. Yeah, because the bridge she's flown off of is the 6th Street Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers, Tanner. Jesus.
I didn't give the context of her flight.
Okay,
Could
so
be an elbow drop.
basically, she runs to the safest place possible, which is the top of a bridge.
Right.
And they all corner her. Well, cars are still driving, by the way. People are driving.
Like
And
any teenage girl in a movie where her life is in danger, she runs up.
yeah. Also, though, I'll give her this. She's in public. Like, so she's like, well, I'm on a crowded bridge.
What could happen?
Yeah, what could happen? Jake picks her up like the fucking Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, he
Straight
hulks
up
out.
gorilla presses her.
And just everybody, like, Vinny is just going fucking nuts. He's like, no, Jake, no, no, no. And
Like, it looks like he's just trying to intimidate her at first, and then she spits on him, and that's when he
yeah.
He F5s her right off the bridge.
that's when Brock Lesnar.
And Red and Fargo are like, do it, do it, do it. And then he goes, and just tosses
And
her.
he does it, and he's won the Royal Rumble.
He tosses her over the bridge. We look down. The best line of this movie is Beefcake Fargo when he takes the dress.
He comes out and says, "Is it there goes?"
He
does he say,
he
"Here
takes the
comes-"
dress in
Yeah.
his hands. You gotta do it the moment, you know. He takes the dress in his hands and he brings it to his lips. And he gives it a sweet kiss and he throws it off the overpass. And he says,
There goes the bride, all drenched in red.
Jesus.
oh, you didn't like that line?
Oh, it was good.
But it's like, are we supposed to laugh? After we just saw
Do you
her
think the
go.
writers sat back from the typewriter and went, "Fuck yeah"?
I think that
Taking
when
the rest
they
of the day off.
when they called cut, everybody was dying laughing. They're like,
Or was there like a very serious applause from the crew? Just like nailed it.
"You did great, Fargo. You did great."
We felt.
And Vince is just still screaming the whole time, "I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!" And then he just runs away the other direction, right?
And that's when his life is threatened. They're like, "You're mine, you hear me? You're dead. We're coming for you." And then they go the other way.
Yeah, they just drive the other way.
We're coming for you, but not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow.
It's all about timing. You know that, just like in fashion. It's all about timing.
And in an alternate universe of this film, I'd love to see where they keep threatening him but never attacking him. It's
One
just like,
day, Vinny.
yeah, he's like walking down the street and like a head comes up out of a trash can like Oscar the Grouch. He's like, "You know you're mine," and it goes back down.
Okay, so Linda and her friends, they're waiting for the bride. Everything's fine, guys. Everything's fine. That's when the Beach Girls, Deborah Blee makes her last appearance, where she's like, "I think everything's fine. I'm the maid of honor." And then Linda leaves. She's like, "All right, well, I got to go to the hospital." We go to the hospital, and we see Vince comes in, and he's screaming. He's going to apologize, and he's screaming at Heather over and over. And it's like, Vince.
She's deaf, you dumb shit.
She's deaf.
She's deaf and in a coma.
Yeah, she's deaf, in a coma. Her eyes are closed. You're screaming at her. She's like, "Did you hear? Heather, I apologize. Do you hear me? Heather?"
I didn't mean to do it.
It would have been great if when Linda walked in, he's shaking her on the back. "Heather! Heather!"
And also, this is another example of like, well, it's late at the hospital, so there's no fucking employees. So this shaky, wide-eyed man just wandered in, went into a very
a sweaty man.
Yeah,
like
He looks strung out.
He looks completely strung out. He wanders into a room where a girl is in a coma and starts screaming about how sorry he is for raping her. And nobody cares.
Nurse like, happens every day.
That's life in Tromaville.
That doctor's hospital. This is a real HMO situation. You know it. So Linda shows up. She sees Vince in the room. She runs in. She grabs him. Starts slapping him. Chases him out of the room. She looks really, really badass. Nothing happens. But he starts running, and we cut to him running, and he's flashing
This
back
is
to the
some
rape.
Forrest Gump running, man. He runs so much at this point.
Run, Vince!
I guess at the end of the day, he was just running from himself.
Yep.
We've lost you.
I like Dan Haggerty at the end. He's flashing back to the good old days when he was just an innocent rapist.
Yeah.
Just raping her, and the good times
I don't know
when
why
they were...
they needed to do those flashes of like, oh, he's the guy who raped that girl. Okay.
They should have been
It's
flashing
one of those
back.
for you, those of you just joining us.
Yeah, they should have been... in case you caught this on TV, like, oh, that's why he's running. They should have flashed back to when him and the Scars were having good times making dresses, and, Vinny accidentally sewed a button onto a fly or something.
Water
you know?
fight.
Yeah, water fight. Yeah. Fargo's at the drinking fountain just splash, and everybody's like...
They're painting a room with rollers, and they start painting each other.
Oh, definitely. They're all there for Fargo's cake appearance. They're like, oh, very
Somebody
good.
pulls out of the souffle and then it deflates and everybody laughs.
Yeah, Vinny's got the little chef hat on,
Oh man, I want a whole movie of just the better days with the Scars before they got all bitter.
And Jake said, "You get me wet, Fargo. You get me wet." And then they're just kind of rolling around, having a good time.
Chicken fight in the pool.
Oh, God. So then we go, as I write, the music starts. Linda drives home.
Oh, it is time. It is time. It's time for that Rambo suiting up sequence.
Yeah, but first...
Gotta get clean.
Yep.
Take a nice bath. Nice little...
Calming bath.
Yeah.
Little essential oil.
And so we have Linda just laying there, staring off into space, got a cigarette in her hand. We just linger on her nude body for no reason.
Almost like she didn't know they were rolling.
Yeah, the bathtub isn't filled all the way up, so her boobs are just hanging out.
Yeah.
No soap in the bath.
No, clear water.
It's just for the warmth. It's a soak. All right, we're just doing this to feel comfortable. We got to get ready to go murder some people.
It's almost like you just imagined Linda Blair being like, as soon as they called cut, she's like, "Are we done?"
Like, can you imagine in the last Rambo movie where they're in that whole like, no, you didn't kill for your country. You killed for yourself. He's like sharpening his knives and everything, and it just cuts to him laying nude in a bathtub.
You don't remember that part?
He's just periscoping up out of the water. He's just like, you're gonna have to kill again, John.
You don't remember the part where Stallone was sharpening his knives and he placed his large penis on the workbench?
It ain't the nightstand, but it'll do.
They don't call him the Italian stallion for nothing, Bobby.
After he tightens his headband, they have him stick his penis in his boot.
And whenever that guy is, the colonel walks in. Oh, another time, John? I'm sorry. Okay, so then literally no reason for this. Literally no reason other than apparently Linda Blair was contractually obligated to get naked in this movie.
It's very jarring. It takes you out of the movie. Like we don't need that.
No, and we did talk about
we
before.
haven't needed any of the nudity we've seen in this movie.
No, and we talked about before, and as well as in the mini bin, that she claims that, well, she does say that in the premiere of this movie, everybody was having a great time until this scene where they were like, oh, that's awkward.
I don't believe that anybody was having a great time at any point watching this movie.
Like, was it very like jovial in the theater? Like,
Yeah,
everyone
are
was
people
like,
whooping and hollering and having a blast?
Yeah. This is like a trauma premiere.
Yeah, but I feel, these days we're all hipsters liking everything ironically. I feel like back in '84, people weren't like, let's go check out this movie because it's terrible.
Speak for yourself. I don't enjoy any of this.
That's true.
So
you were evil in a previous life, and that's why you're here.
she claims that they cut out a whole bunch of stuff where like it all made sense in the sense of the back. No, it didn't.
Like we're really to explain why she got naked to take a bath.
Maybe they used to take naked baths together.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
we had the flashback to where there's a second tub next to her with Heather laying there, just giving the thumbs up.
The better times when they would also just splash around in the tub. And,
We missed the whole part where she taught her how to dance.
But that one time Heather fell asleep in the tub because Linda wasn't watching her and she went deaf.
Oh.
Well, you were wondering how it happened.
It was just water in her ears.
Yeah. We've established that they're not very intelligent family, Bobby.
No, certainly not.
So now she's getting ready. She does her showgirls getting ready, where she's like zips up her leather onesie. And
this is the iconic outfit of the film. This would be her Batman suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote, she's Batman in my notes.
But here's the one thing
This is Rambo tying the headband.
Here's the one thing that bugged me, though. Heels.
I had a problem with that, too.
Who fucking murders in heels? Come on.
Gotta be sexy.
But you gotta be able to run.
See, Hughes knows.
No,
Like-
she has to entice men.
Also, you don't want people to hear you coming.
You look at Batgirl's boots, they got heels.
Yeah, they do.
It makes no sense,
Catwoman,
though.
heels.
Like, she's supposed
Women, am I right? Right? Always with those heels.
I do love the part later when she's running and she's scurrying in her heels that she can only go about 3 inches.
Skit.
I didn't think this through at
Oh,
all.
skit, goddamn.
And she's putting on, well, from what I can tell, like 10 different belts, even though I only see one.
Like
There's
I said, MJ in the bad video. She's got to have a couple of them.
None of it is functional.
No. This
Nothing
is
in this movie is functional.
literally the worst murder outfit possible. Like, it's not comfortable. It's not sneaky. But you'd be hearing that leather rub against itself for miles. Like, the click of the heels, the rub of the leather. It would be very loud.
If you would have changed what she was wearing to, I don't know, purple, she would look like that girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where she eats the blueberry. And
Man, I just heard Linda say, "Shove it, bitch."
Also, though, this is the part where the perm does have a life of its own.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was never this big until the last scene. It's like she put her hair in that fucking dryer and man.
You know, like when Ang Lee's Hulk would get angrier and therefore grow larger?
Yeah.
It's that. The angrier Linda gets, the bigger her hair grows, like a Jiffy Pop on her head.
And now that I think about it, she was in the tub. So she must have spent quite a bit of time drying that hair to get that perm full.
And she
she
does like
listened-
full face makeup too. Like she does herself.
Do you know
up
how
for
many
this
times
murder.
she had to listen to Justice for All to get all that done? They're like, how many times are you going to play the same damn song, Linda?
Because it's on cassette, so she has to rewind it.
Justice for All.
So she goes Vince's house, right? Love this part. Linda shows up and the dad's like, yeah, what do you want? And she's like, hi, is Vince home? And he's like, no, you can't talk on a school night. And she's like, oh, we're doing a school project together. Can I come in just for a minute? And he's like, all right, whatever.
Doing her best Shirley Temple on the doorstep.
This part, though, so he's like ready to skip town. Vince is like, I gotta get out of here.
He's got his skipping town suspenders
Yeah,
on.
I would have half expected it to just be a stick with a little hobo bag, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
he's dressed like the newsies that come from Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's like, that's where I'm going. I'm going to Brooklyn, where
No,
they
he-
understands me.
He's going to Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
My old friend.
Go hawk some newspapers. Wear a nice
Christian Bale.
hat. But that cut when she pulls out the switchblade is so good.
Yeah.
Because the camera just shakes and she's got the switchblade. She goes, "You gotta die, Vince." And she's holding them so they're being very loud, by the way. I would have loved a scene where the dad just knocks on the door and goes, "Everything okay in there? Is this what the school project is? This is really..."
He's just standing outside the door nodding all slow. That's my boy in there.
Vinny, you're not supposed to scream a blood-curdling scream while you're doing that. These kids these days, they know what they're doing.
He's just going all wide-eyed listening to the screams. You're like, you better marry that one. Your mother won't do that for me.
So she's holding his neck up I so wish she would have slit his throat.
That's one of the best images in this film is that shot of her with the knife to his throat.
She should have done it. She should have done it.
Yes, especially because, as we'll get later, I think they forgot about this character and had to reshoot his next scene. Yeah, he doesn't play any part in this film until one moment later where it feels out of place with everything else.
Yeah. So she basically gets the info where the Scars have their dress shop, which she could have just looked it up in the yellow pages. It's obviously there.
I mean, they still run an active business here.
So he tells her, right? Then Linda, before she goes, she's got to go shopping because she saw that sale sign. You got to take advantage. Do you think, though, it wasn't the weekend? We know that because
she had to pay that shit full price.
It was a school day. No, I think she was probably like, "I saw the price. Is there any way I can get that?
I'm working on a school project.
Yeah, well, I'm going to catch a bear."
Now, this is woeful woeful negligence on the part of the supply sergeant. Because you have someone who has decked themselves out in an all-black cat suit who's walking in there giving you Lee Harvey Oswald face, and she's just like, "I want a crossbow and I want every bear trap you have." And they're like, "All right, you want a bag?"
Bobby, you're forgetting one key element. This is Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, that's true.
This happens every day.
That's absolutely true.
And to be fair, I don't think there is a 3-day waiting list even currently for crossbows.
Yeah, Linda's like, "Can I get that gun?" He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to have to..." She goes, "How about the crossbow?" He goes, "No, that's fine." I love it, though, that she walks out of the store. We see a long shot of her walking with a bunch of bags, a duffel bag and all this stuff. She just went on a great little shopping spree.
Falling down.
Yeah, and then we got to see when she goes into the trunk.
Home.
Oh, my God. You imagine if it was the falling down
they
guy in that store?
They should have walked by each other. It'd be awesome. There's just a brief moment where they nod to each other. This one gets it.
So then we go to the Scars, right? Jake makes Fargo and Red get out of the car.
Which doesn't really make any sense.
No, he's going to kill Vince. That's what he tells him.
Why does he make him get out of the car?
Because he's like, "I need to do this alone.
Why does he need to do it alone?
Literally no reason.
No reason.
Yeah,
because he was killing a member of the gang.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't want to see the other. He want the other gang to see him do that.
Well, why? Because he needed to have them stay at the place.
Right. I don't know in the screenplay reason, but in the world of the movie,
they were just like, "Shut up! Nobody's gonna know."
It's Red Cannon and Fargo fodder.
But I do like this is so we finally get Red and Fargo away from Jake, which we never get before.
To explore these guys a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
and Red goes, "Jake's kind of being a real dick lately.
Son of a bitch is starting to piss me off."
And Fargo's like, "Whoa. He goes, No, Jake's a good guy." And he goes, "Didn't he he gave you a turn with that girl the other day?" And I quote, "Didn't he let you watch that broad take flying lessons on the cement?" You know something, Red? It was very, very neat watching her body bounce off that concrete. And they say it's just
it's a really strange delivery.
Loving moment where they're like,
you
remember that? They should have flashed back to that. It's just the bounce.
Is that before or after the part where they go if you have a problem with Jake, you bring it up to Jake?
Yeah, he says
and
that.
then they look at each other and then start laughing.
Yeah, they're like, and then we hear a pipe banging, and they're like, "What's that sound?"
Great sound clip here.
Then Linda appears. "Welcome home, assholes."
It's a great shot of her.
Oh, it's probably the best shot when she comes out of there. And then she says, they propose a little three's all right with me. They're not under the assumption that they murdered her friend and raped her sister and that Linda would be upset. They're like, "She wants to have sex with us, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on here."
She's holding a pipe. If that is the case, she's got some weird plans.
Yeah, well, because they're about to go running.
Are ready for this.
And then Red goes, "Wait a minute, man. I don't like it. Something's weird."
Yeah, no shit.
And then it's almost like Fargo's like, "No, man, this is how pornos start." And then she goes, "What's the matter, boys? You get a little girl all hot and horny, then lose your nerve? What a shame." And this is one of my favorite lines. If you listen to it, is Fargo goes, "I'm gonna fuck that bitch." That's not my favorite line. It's Red goes, "Yeah."
I just like at this point, like Scar Tissue That I Wish You Saw starts playing in the background. It's a good Red Hot Chili Pepper reference. It's the name of the shop.
Oh my god!
Because the scars, and then nobody gets to see their dresses.
Oh boy.
Cool story, Hughes.
That's a Hughes clues for sure. He is very tired right now, I can tell.
yeah.
So then we get the warehouse chase. There's the old tape player in the warehouse scene, which makes no sense because Fargo's walking around saying things. He's like, "We're gonna play a little game, baby,"
And it responds.
yeah, like it's either a talk boy situation, which
I
would
just
be amazing.
love fun and games. Like, how the hell?
But the best line, obviously, is when he says, "We're gonna play hide the salami," and he says, "I'm gonna hide that salami so far up you even Christopher Columbus can't find it."
Christopher Columbus, of course, history's most renowned finder of salami.
Also, the guy who found the wrong continent so.
And the wrong salami.
I never, but this is what I wrote. I never noticed this before, but apparently Fargo is a big Mick Foley fan. Because at one part,
Get the bang bang?
he puts his fingers up and he goes bang bang when he walks in somewhere. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
I think Mick Foley used to like this movie.
So
They
then,
say hide the salami so many times. He's
Oh,
going
God.
into a salami trance. He's just like, I'm
he's
going to hide
thinking-
the salami. You're
Look.
going to hide the salami? We're going to hide the salami. Where's the salami? It's hidden. I'm going to find it, and then I'm going to hide it again, this salami.
he's thinking about Jake and he can't get him out of his mind. He's like, oh, Jake. So then Beefcake, he finds the tape player, which makes no sense. Because it's still responding to him. And then he finds all these bear traps.
The tape player should have been like, oh, big man, finding this tape player.
So then he finds these bear traps, and that's when he says, "You're gonna catch a bear, biggest bear you ever saw." And we're like, okay, it's clear now. It's clear. Then he finds Linda. She shoots him through the neck with a crossbow.
Pretty brutal.
Arrowed.
So he gets arrowed.
He gets crossbowed through the neck. Bizarre. Okay. I write bizarre fake Linda having sex sounds while Red looks for her.
It's weird. I don't know how she planned all this.
Again, how would she know she would kill Fargo first? Because she's like, oh, Fargo,
Now-
Fargo.
Is this part on the tape recorder? Like, is that established, or is she just making that sound
I don't
while she
know.
hides around?
I don't know. I assume she has multiple tape recorders around this place.
Because why not? If she has one, she maybe
It's
she
like
has
an evil
more.
that men do situation.
They had a 2-for-1.
That's true.
And
Supply
like,
sergeant.
she's
Ooh,
like,
a
yeah.
nice BOGO.
Where do you think she recorded it? Because
On the drive over to the warehouse.
oh, Fargo. She has like one tape for each, and then she recorded the Red one. So she's like, all right, I just flipped the tape just in case.
She's like, where you gonna find me? Where you gonna? Hey, use your signal, asshole!
It would have been great if it went past and like flipped over and the tape she'd recorded over a mixtape or something.
It just goes to flock of seagulls.
Yeah.
Can't stop me now.
But
I'm having
the
she's singing
good
along
time.
to it.
yeah, it's
Don't stop me! Don't stop me!
Do you think though, like obviously when he hears the oh Fargo, he's like, well, she's obviously not having sex with Fargo. I mean, we all know that.
No one's ever enjoyed that.
Fargo wouldn't have sex unless Jake could watch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Red's like, well, that's not happening. But he keeps going around and like, so Fargo kept saying hide the salami over and over. He keeps saying, where's the pussy? Where's the pussy? Over and over and over again. And that's when Linda appears and she goes, now it's your time with the pussy.
Oh.
And he just gets scared and falls into the bear traps. And then Jake runs over Vinny.
It's a really awkward scene. Vinny's just kind of there, and he's no longer in his scars gear.
And wait, isn't he also? He says goodbye to some girl that we've never seen.
Yeah, she was
before?
like, she set up like a bug out bag for him, and like,
Yeah. We introduce a new
helping
character
him
in the
get out of
last
town.
5 minutes of the movie. Thanks a lot, Veronica.
It's like the moped guy in Moving Target. It's like, who was that guy? Why did...
Also, he makes no effort to dodge this car. He just stands there. He just does not dodge it at all. Even though he's got plenty of room to jump. Nope, just lets himself die. He's like,
I think it was his plan to get in front of a car somewhere, and he's just like, well, this saves me time.
Suicide by Jake.
Do you think? Yeah.
It's like Body by Jake.
Do you think that he was just like where were they going? Santa Barbara.
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe, man.
This is the train to Santa Fe taking him.
Santa Fe. As he just drifts
I ain't
off.
gotta sell papes no more.
And so then we just go back to the warehouse and Jake arrives, and it's the whole Linda kills Jake scenario.
But Linda has arranged the bodies like Jason at the end of a Friday the 13th movie. They're just hanging.
I wrote, "Oh shit, that's cool."
It is pretty cool.
And he opens
Linda
it.
Voorhees.
He opens it, and you just hear Linda going, "Having a good time." And he's like, "All right, what's going on here?" And then she shoots him through the legs with 2 arrows through his legs.
To the knee. And you know what it reminded me of? Not only the Skyrim meme, but also in Ace Ventura 2 when he's getting the spears at each leg.
This is a real Kevin Hall All-American Hero style death.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's slow and pointless. So Linda...
And it is pretty gross when he's laid down and he's pulling the arrows out, the bolts out of his legs.
Yeah.
And there's like meat hanging.
Flesh.
They did a good job on that.
Having a good time. And so then he just fires his gun into the dark.
And he goes like, "I didn't get you, huh?"
But also, he shoots 3 bullets and then just throws the gun like, well, this is fucking useless.
She's magic.
It's the Superman thing where you just throw the gun if you run out of bullets.
Hey, Brenda, did I get you?
And
Like, she's going to answer, yeah.
And she comes sauntering out when she's got 1 bolt left,
Yeah.
as we discover. Well, because she's talking all manner of shit, and I assume you're going to put that in there. It'd be a nice spot to splice
course.
that in. And, she fires her last shot at him to take him out, and it misses. And she goes, "Oh, I missed." And then reaches for another one and goes, "And I'm all out of arrows." And it sounds like she's ad-libbing, like the character is.
Yeah.
Like she's trying to make it seem like I'm meant for all this. This is just part of the thing I planned. Fuck, I'm out of arrows.
She's just rubbing it in a little too thick. And she's thought this through a little too far. Because she's like, oh, I got to go back to the car and get arrows. And then she goes to the car and he follows.
And I kind of wanted her muttering to herself, "For fuck's sake, Linda, you had a whole plan. You can't just get more arrows out of the car. You should check before you do it."
But no, this is like all part of her fucking weird plan. Where he
this
gets
long thing
to the gate and then she strings him up like a cartoon trap, like the old
He's hung
circle
upside down
string.
by his feet because now she's gonna gut him.
Yeah.
like a pig in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, and then he gets the best of her.
He is hung upside down and injured, and he gets the drop on her
He hits her with the gate of the chain link fence.
pretty gently.
And she is incapacitated.
He
And-
might as well have hit her with a sledgehammer.
Yes.
Because she
She
just lays on the
sells it.
ground, just helpless, because she got bumped by a gate.
She oversold that bump.
Then they go into like a paint store.
Also, this
I'm sorry.
moment,
How did I forget?
Like he knocks her down, he crawls on top of her, and her confidence has suddenly disappeared.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now she's just a helpless damsel.
Well-
doing that skitter in her heels, trying to run from him.
Yeah.
Until she stabs him in the dick with
Yes.
the
Yes.
switchblade, which is like, man.
It doesn't matter to him because he wasn't phased. He's a power bottom.
And honestly, though, none of this should have even happened. When she had him hung upside down, just go stab him in the dick then.
Yeah.
That'd be plenty satisfying for the viewers. We don't need to suddenly reverse everything and have her be pursued by the monster.
This is a clear case of overthinking it.
Yeah.
You know? And so then they go into a paint store, and there's like a 5-minute scene of going around a paint store just showing a Vista paint, basically.
And
Until
at
she.
one point when he is... when he was on top of her, he threatens to rip her heart out and eat it.
Yeah.
He's doing a real Dark Knight Returns thing, like the mutant fighting Batman.
I have expected him to start going, Kalima, Kalima.
And there's another part in the paint store where, she's kind of running from him. He can't walk. He's barely hobbling. He's like Chevy Chase falling down. He's grabbing everything as he kind of travels. She's holding a giant crowbar.
Yeah.
Why are you still running from
wait.
this guy?
Yeah.
Turn around and pound this guy.
He's got a stabbed dick.
Yeah.
Arrows to the legs. He is the weaker one in this situation.
You hit him once
Yeah.
and this is over.
But she throws flammable paint on him.
This is where the writer in me was like, why did they not? Because they established it's the flammable paint thing, and then she looks for a key to open the thing. As a writer, I'm like, well, you should have had the whole point of Heather giving her the necklace at the beginning, being that that's the thing Brenda's wearing, and she uses that to open the thing to douse him with a flammable thing. Because it's planting. They bothered to plant the crossbow and the bear traps.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead and go full hog of like planting stuff early to have it pay
Yeah.
off. So the whole scene
Show
of the
every
goddamn
Or
or every like the necklace has no purpose. That entire scene has no purpose.
Or like what's a real easy way to open a flammable paint can? A giant fucking crowbar that you're carrying around with you. But no, she's searching for the key and everything. Douses him with the flammable paint, lights him on fire. He goes in slow motion outside of a window
Into daytime.
and falls, and he just burns on the ground while a cop at night drives to the store, and this does not match up.
No.
And Linda's just standing there in the
Two different
window.
cop cars traveling different directions.
Linda's just standing in the window staring at him while a cop car apparently pulled up at night and's like,
So hypothetically, if Borgnine hops out of the car and he's assessing the situation.
oh, you know.
Yeah.
So that locket.
He's taking that locket. But yeah, all we know is that we've got 3 bodies here and this one woman in a fucking cat suit.
Okay, and the cop says, he goes,
with the holster for the crossbow bolts.
you hear the cop on the radio. We got an arson. We got a dead body. I think it's a 187.
Pretty not sure.
He's like, yeah, this is a murder. And Linda's standing right there, but apparently they can't see her.
She's camouflaged by the paint.
It's true.
She does the
John Cena.
Can't see me.
She kind of gets out of there.
So then the crow returns to his grave.
They go to the grave of the bride, and they're like, yeah, everything's great. Well, they're like,
I was hoping that this would have the Carrie ending. Like Francine's arm would come up out of the ground.
Holding the wedding dress.
Like, why not at this point?
yeah.
What harm would it do?
I do like, though, is like Linda's all, we made things right. And they go, no, Linda, you made things right. You did.
You
Thank
murdered a bunch of people.
You're
We
like,
knew nothing about it, so when the police take you away, we are not involved.
yeah, you're the real Paul Kersey in this situation. Okay, just so we have it clear, you're the Bronson. We are just the family that didn't know anything about it. So that's the end of the movie. Credits roll. Recommendations, Hughes?
Nah. Yes, no. If you're bored, see it. It's not a bad watch. It's entertaining.
Hughes, we lost you at this.
Oh yeah, man. I've been up all day.
It's getting late. It's understandable. As for me, it's a recommend for sure. There is some uncomfortable shit in this movie that a lot of people would find very off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's got a little bit of everything that you expect from a Grindhouse movie. This is quintessential Grindhouse material. I think it's worth a watch if you can handle the long list of trigger warnings you'd have to see beforehand. It's an ugly film. It's mean as hell, and at the same time fucking ridiculous, which is a weird thing to have at the same time. That it is a brutal film that is silly as shit.
Just imagine if, like, the guy who made what Friday the 13th did he make? Danny Steinem. It was like Friday the 13th 4, I think.
Zito.
Actually, I don't know which one he made, but he made one of the good Friday the 13th.
I think you're thinking of 4.
Just imagine if the guy who made Friday the 13th made a trauma movie.
Yeah, it's
because
a mix of that.
It's like a serious trauma movie, if I can put it that way. It's as crazy as one, but it's like a Hollywood movie and not something that Lloyd Kaufman streams in his basement. So
Right.
I give it a recommend along with the idea that, like, if you warn someone,
You kind of need to warn them.
yeah, like it's very enjoyable, like,
No.
but really uncomfortable.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Don't talk over me with your nose.
It was
No,
Friday. It was
Tanner, no.
No.
It was Friday the 13th: A New Beginning.
That is considered the meanest one. That's the one I talked about last episode.
Yeah, that's actually considered the worst
2
one.
episodes ago.
Oh, is that the one where it's not
It gets a
Jason?
bad rap. It's not the worst one. It's actually a really well done one. But yeah, it's the one where it's the paramedic.
Oh yeah.
He-
that is an enjoyable.
It's
one.
as good as any other Jason movie. People
Yeah.
were just pissed that the reveal was that it wasn't Jason.
That's the guy who made this one. So
Beautiful.
Um,
You can see it.
So do you hear that sound? Hughes, how do you think? I know you're tired. Why don't you go first?
I really have been trying to think of how they would fit into this, and I really don't think we should put them into this movie. Because it's just going to turn into rape.
It's funny. I remember back on episode 5, Mike and Manna had difficulty with that. They were thinking the same thing. It's like, how do you get these guys into this movie?
Hughes has gotten so tired he's become a good person.
That's what it takes. You got to get him to a point of exhaustion.
Bobby?
I think that while Linda is recording, Brenda rather, is recording all the stuff on her Talkboy while she drives, she accidentally sideswipes a parked straight arrow, takes the mirror off, damages the whole side of it, and we immediately cut to Bobby in a bathtub staring forward with Justice for All playing.
Michael, what do you think?
Can't top it. I can't top Bobby's. That's
come
pretty much-
on. You got to try.
All
at
right.
least.
Okay. So we'll say Savage Streets is the 1984. The van was 1976.
77.
So it's a few years later. Let's say after Linda leaves the crime scene, the murder. There's a lot of evidence around, and let's say she leaves in that convertible Chevrolet. That thing is still filthy from all the garbage
Oh, no.
that was left in it.
Oh, no.
She decides she's got to get as far from the scene as possible. So she goes over the Hollywood Hills into the valley, and she goes to the car wash.
And you know, as soon as you hit the valley, Sammy Johns just starts playing in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's relaxing, and she needs to relax.
Yeah.
After the traumatic events of dick stabbing and murder.
She goes to a pizza place.
She goes to a pizza place. She is going to start a new life. And she catches the eye of a little red-haired puffed boy. Well, now a man, because he's in his 20s. But you know who she has eyes for? The owner of that car wash. She doesn't like tall doofus West, the football guy. She likes short bookies.
I can see that. She's had enough.
She's had enough
these
of boys
strapping
her age.
athletic
Yeah.
dudes.
We
She
never
wants someone
really
safe.
get into Linda's type. I just don't think she likes men. I don't think she likes women either. I just don't think she likes people.
You know, that's an option too.
I think she's like just a total asexual.
She likes
would only-
justice.
Yeah, she would only like one of the movies we've covered. Dogs.
Oh no. Yeah, could you imagine though, Linda walking to that pizza place and Bobby being like, "Hey, you see that van out there?" and her fucking leather onesie get up, and she's
You
like,
cut just to the back alley where she's got him like Vinny. She's got him pulled up by his poof with a knife to his neck.
"Oh, you're an interesting one."
Hey, DeVito, we got a live one here.
I feel like definitely Bobby went to that high school, Hollywood High, of course. And he was definitely one of the other guys in that classroom, you know, with the whole, you know. Actually, now that it was 1977, so he graduated, and we know how much of a troublemaker he was. Imagine if John Vernon was Bobby's principal.
Oh, my God. All right, listen here, you little F word.
So, like, Bobby comes back to the high school. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go back, you know, maybe talk to some of the girls. You know, I still look like a young man, so maybe I can get away with it. And as soon as he walks out of that campus, John Vertus just looks at him and he's just like, no, no, no. And it just goes right over to him, grabs him by the dick.
Take that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Yeah. Take that goddamn thing out of your mouth. There you go.
You just go back to him sitting in the van, looking straight ahead, the 1,000-yard stare, going, an iceberg?
He goes, DeVito, I think this was a bad idea. Before
Happy
we go,
Streetsgiving,
yeah,
everybody.
happy Streetsgiving. Before we go, guys, we do have a very quick announcement to make, and it's going to be made by our boss. As you can hear, he's calling in. Hughes has patched him in.
Yep, he's in.
Hughes, you
Fuck
don't
you.
sound
Fuck you.
Oh my God! Well, you're fired for one.
Okay, see ya.
I understand you have a special message for us, Mr. C.
You're on every episode now, Hughes. Fuck you.
Oh, that's the worst.
You're never leaving. Yes, I have a very special thing to say. First of all, if you want to find us, grindhousefilm.com, Facebook, the Grindbin Podcast, Instagram, the Grindbin Podcast, all that stuff. You know, grindbin@gmail.com. You can email me directly. I will be taking over the social media accounts. I actually already have, so I'm sure you've seen some of my posts, and I'm sure you love them. But I would like to tell you boys that I have a special announcement. Next week will be a new theme month on the Grindbin.
We love theme month.
Oh, I think you boys are going to really love this. I'd like to say brought to you by the Whopper, which is that wonderful burger that you can only get at Burger King. The Whopper, a large patty on top of two buns, between two buns with some cheese. Get it with cheese, everybody.
Hey, if you want it on top of 2 buns, you could have it your way, Mr. C.
That's right, Trippet. Lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle.
It sounds racist when you say Whopper.
Why?
He's derailing it again.
Just give me the first part.
Anyway,
Oh. I get racism.
brought to you by the Whopper, the sandwich at Burger King, and not the racial slur, ethnic slur, as Hughes is trying to say. Brought to you by the Whopper, the first ever and first annual Grindbin December.
Oh.
What the fuck?
How do you like that, Bobby?
It's a great idea, Mr. C.
No, do not. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's our boss, guys. We
boys.
have to do it. He bought the bin.
That's right. Tanner, you seem a little excited about
I'm
this.
a big fan of Mr. Deason, right? We're
So
talking
am
about Eddie
I.
Deason?
I loved Eddie Deason. You saw me put him in Surf 2. That guy was hilarious.
Oh, wait, that guy? Fuck that.
Oh, no. Remember when he showed up with that turban and I told you he was doing all the prayer stuff? It was hilarious. Back in the 80s, that shit killed. Yeah, December, week 1, next week.
All right.
The boys will be covering a December movie, and the movie you'll be covering is the Eddie Deason classic, Mob Boss, where Eddie Deason becomes the mob boss.
Week 2, I'm taking a bath, and we're not doing December.
You will be here, and we will be in that bath.
We look forward to it, Mr. C.
So I've said over and over again, we will never be doing a December, and you are making us do this
It's
now,
not
huh?
up to us anymore, Mike.
Shut up, Mike.
Well, happy Streets Giving and happy December, everybody.
Yeah.
End of an era.
Happy December.
Bobby, start the van.
It's season 2 December.
God.
Wow. All the D's nuts are gonna be so excited.
There's gonna be so many jingle bell jokes, jingle balls. Oh my God, it's gonna be great. And with any luck, we'll get Deason on the show. Deason, are you here? Yeah, I'm here.
If anybody can get Deason on the show, it's Mr. C.
Yeah, so remember, everybody, December, brought to you by the Whopper at Burger King. The sandwich, not the ethics book.
Grindbin, copyright 2017, Crown International.
We'll
Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
I said it, knockers.
Spooky ain't got no real rhythm.